weird. Yes, you did. You made it weird. Yeah.
What's happening, weirdos? This is such a fun episode with one of my favorite comedians. She is incredible. She has a new special. It's on Max or HBO. I think you call it Max now. The last guy to put this together. I think it's Max now. Anyway, HBO or Max, it's on Max. But anyway, it's called Salute Me or Shoot Me. She is so funny. The special is incredible. I'm so glad she's here. She also had a talk show we talk about quite a bit also on Max that I love that you should check out. Anyway, everything Sam J does, just check it out. This conversation is so fun, so interesting, and so funny, and I'm glad you're here. Only a couple things to discuss up top. One, my Netflix special will be out on October 24th. It's called I Am Not For Everyone, and I hope you like it. It's on October 24th. I'm also doing Largo this Saturday in Los Angeles. So if you're going to be in the Los Angeles area and are listening to this the day it comes out, I will be at Largo on Saturday. Tickets at largo-la.com. The next one after that is November 17th. So largo-la.com. Always incredible guests on those shows. So fun, doing new material, messing around, and some greatest hits as well. It's always incredible. And I'm on tour. PeteHolmes.com for all the dates. Next coming up is, I believe it's Bloomington, Indiana. Then we got Chicago, Washington, D.C. Those are all available on PeteHolmes.com. Even if you saw me in D.C. recently, not that long ago, or Chicago, this is a new hour of material. I'm really happy about this new hour of material, and I hope you can make it. That is that. This episode is brought to us by our friends at Magic Mind. You guys know I talk about Magic Mind constantly. I'm always giving it to the guests because I want the guests to drink it because it helps us with creativity and focus. It's like athletes have Gatorade, now creative minds have Creatorade. What is it? It's a mix of 12 functional ingredients, including matcha, nootropics that make you focus, and adaptogens that help you fight off stress. You can take it instead of coffee. You can drink it like I do with your coffee to sort of round out the edges. It doesn't get you wired, it gets you dialed in, and even helps smooth out your coffee experience if you're taking it with coffee. It's incredible. I find it to be mood elevating and helps me get work done and drops me into that flow state, fighting off procrastination, brain fog, fatigue, and even some ADD symptoms. After 3 to 7 days of continuous use, it's even easier to get into that flow state, and they have a money-back guarantee. And we have a special offer for weirdos from our friends at Magic Mind. All you have to do is go to magicmind.co/weird and use my discount code at checkout, WEIRD, to get a limited 20% off your first order. That's magicmind.co/weird and promo code WEIRD for 20% off. Secondly, we're brought to us by our friends at Living Libations. You guys know, if you listen to the show, this is a complete Living Libations household. What is Living Libations? It is a natural, powerful, effective, high-end, wonderful alternative to random chemical nightmares that you use normally for hair, skin, teeth, eye care. I was putting creams and ointments on my body that I thought were good because frankly, they were expensive, and I bought them in a mall and the store was named something French. But these things are filled with chemicals and levels of toxicity that were never intended for human consumption. So enter Living Libations, not only the most effective skin care, eye care, teeth, and baby care products I've ever found, but also the most natural, made exclusively with plants and oils and extracts that not only will you be able to recognize, you can also easily pronounce them. We use their best skin ever every night. That is what I put on my face every night. Val as well. I love their toothpaste. I love their sunblock. Love the sun. Sunblock, we're in California, so we use sunblock year round. There's Brody in the background. Whatever you need, this is a great way to support the show. Living Libations has a premium, natural, and wonderful product to replace the random chemical nightmare they sell at 7-Eleven. 15% off. Go to livinglibations.com/weird. Support your body, support your skin, support your hair, your nails, your teeth, whatever. And the show, livinglibations.com/weird. All right, everybody, enjoy Sam J. Get into it. We're recording. I don't want you to feel tricked. The thing I noticed about your special that I really wanted to compliment
dive in. Let's
without
go.
making you uncomfortable, because I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
No.
I have in the past. I feel like when you did the live, you made it weird. What I remember about it was I was like, I'm such a fan of yours. I was telling you, and you were like, I remember you go, what am I supposed to do with that? So I was like, don't do that. But I do. This is actually good for a point. Your stand-up, this new special, Salute Me or Shoot Me, is like, it's like it flows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so much, my own stand-up included, I'm trying to make it flow.
Yeah.
And this bit, I'm trying to think of I have a special coming out. The opener ties, it's about New Year, and then that kind of goes into a thing about surveillance, and then that kind of goes into a thing about technology. Like it kind of, it's bundled. Mm-hmm. But yours is like, it reminds me of Nate Bargatze. Do you like Nate?
Yeah.
It's like in that way. It's obviously completely you, but he and you have something going on that most comics don't, which is like, I could see why people might think you're just talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People might be like, she's just a funny person.
Right.
But I'm going like, that took effort.
Yeah.
And you're trying, would you talk a little bit, are you trying to disguise the fact that you're doing stand-up? Is that an effort? Or is it just like how it came out when you started doing it? Is that just your personality?
I think it's just my personality. Like, it just kind of felt like the best way for me to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody's trying to find their style.
Yeah.
And I
It's authentic. It doesn't seem like you're
Yeah,
going like,
I
this will
couldn't-
work if I do it like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, but I do think there is some, technicality to it. Like, especially in getting a flow and having it have some type of a, like, thematic ride.
Yeah.
That was super, like, intentional, and I had to, like, work at that part of it.
Well, dude, I don't want to give anything away, but the suck a dick stuff at the beginning. First of all, I'm obsessed with how special. I know it's so crazy to say that. Two insane people. Can I compliment the suck a dick portion? But the suck a dick umbrella, meaning what it's like to feel like the man in the relationship. Or I love what you said about masculine, feminine energy being a thing, and you're like, that's just what's happening. You're more of the junior man. Is what you say, and then that section lasts like 30 minutes. It's like a full special of just like running water. Like it never feels like, I guess what I'm saying is one of the enemies of stand-up is how corny and canned it can feel.
Yes.
To be like, well.
Yes.
And I hate that. I've been doing it 20 years and I hate that you have to be like, funny thing about microphones, like there's no natural way to start, but you open with that Spanx thing and then you're off and you stay in that one offshoot for so long that I was really like real respect.
Thank
I
you.
was like, oh, like shit. Like, I think comics will notice that, but I think people will notice that it's like in the same way with Nate, it's like you're laughing, but you're not stressed for the performer.
Yeah.
And you're not like being shocked every 5 seconds, like to like you know what I mean? Like being provoked in that, like, but it's, I don't know how, like that just seems to be where you found yourself.
Yeah, I always was like, when I even started, I was like, it has to feel conversational.
Yeah.
It has to feel conversational, or it's not gonna work for me. Like, I'm just not studious. Yeah. I'm not good. Like, I'm not. So
you mean you're not like, I'm looking at Gary Goldman up there.
Yes,
That's a studious dude.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
That structure and that, like,
But it's there. Like when you go, we do it for dogs. I'm like, that's that's up there with Seinfeld. You know what I mean? That's like an observation, and you tied it in, and there's a theme, and you're going somewhere, but you're doing it in this natural way.
Yeah, it has to be a little bit loosey goosey for me to like get my bearings in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I tried to do it when I first started doing stand up. I tried to be studious, like in every way, because I didn't want to be lazy and I really wanted this. And I was like, if I really want this, I've got to take this seriously, and this is gonna be the thing I fucking, And I tried to, like, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna write for an hour a day, and I'm gonna like, get up and I'm gonna do the jokes. And I was like, this sucks. Like, I suck. I feel like I suck.
It dried up everything that was good about it.
It dried up everything that was good. And I was like, I just can't, like, do it that way, So I'm always trying to find that, like, very conversational tone. I remember, like, one of the first times I got off stage, I was like, it has to feel like how I feel when I'm just talking at a bar to
Which
a
is your
stranger.
talk show, too.
It just has to feel like that for it to work for me.
Right.
And so I'm always just trying to get the act the closest to feeling like we just bumped into each other on the street and started chatting.
Right. And even the stuff you're saying seems like you sat down next to the most interesting person you could have sat next to at the bar, but meaning like you're saying some shit. In the good way. Like you're not being boring. So it's so unpresentational. It even seems like, I call it sleepover comedy. It's like the kind of stuff you would say at a sleepover. Not that it's like so crazy, but like I get the sense that you're being real with me, which is also, I mean, when you were starting, so you're not like a razzle dazzle, like with a cane and tap shoes kind of kid. How did you find your way into comedy? I mean, what I'm saying is it doesn't seem like it was catered to what you're doing now. Makes sense, but you were coming up in a time when it was like, show us you got it. And like attack it and come out and whatever. Like, how did you find your way? Did it take a long time or was it weird getting started?
You know, so weird. When I first tried it, when I was like 20 something, I was trying to do that, like, you know, because like you said, it was like that.
Yeah.
And I got up and it was very bad. And it was very bad. And
Where were you?
I was at Dick Doherty's Comedy Bowl.
I forgot you were from Boston.
In Boston.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it sucked, dude. And I got off stage and I was like, that's not how that was supposed to feel. I knew that.
Yeah.
And this is the first time actually, because this is not the first time I told this story, but it's the first time I actually could articulate what I mean when it wasn't how I was supposed to feel, because you put it into words for me. Because it was so canned up, I wasn't me, and it just felt like it didn't fit. So then I was like, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then there was this long separation time, right? I didn't do it again until I was like 29.
Wow.
So when I was like, I was 28, about to turn 29. My birthday was in January, and I got up that December before my birthday. And I just had made this kind of decision that, like, I'm gonna do this like me. It's the only way this is gonna work. It's like, I gotta do it how it makes sense in my head, even if it doesn't make sense to people. And early in my career, and probably a real sour spot for me, you're getting some therapy out of me today. It's early morning.
No, this is a weird way to start our day, isn't it? It's too early for this.
But it's a sour spot for me, like early in my career, because I wasn't like precision, and I wasn't, you know, I've never been one of those like counting the laugh per minute people. I've never been one of those, you know, it's set up, punch. I just kind of went. And so I used to get a lot of criticism from, you know, the white boy guard of Boston, that I was just a riffer. I didn't know how to write. You know, basically, you know, like it kind of felt like when black people started bringing like street ball into like the NBA, like the different way to drip, and they was just like, oh yeah, that's like tomfoolery. They don't know the
Globetrotters. There actually is something kind of like weird about the Globetrotters. Like, we'll separate it and put it over here.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like that kind of energy of like, they don't have the skill set. They're just out here winging it. And it was like in a real like negative way that really like used to piss me the fuck off.
Yeah.
Because it was like, dude, I don't write the way you write, but there is a lot of thinking and writing going into this, and layering and setting it up to get these punchlines off. But I'm not a traditional, the punchline might not come where you think it's supposed to come.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So just because that's the way I play, it became like contentious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it also kind of made me dig in my heels harder and be like, I'm gonna do it this way, and I'm gonna do it so fucking good.
Right.
You know? Like,
and then
really,
just like the street ball thing, now it'll be like, oh, that's the way we do it now.
That's the way we do it.
Through the legs? You mean through the legs? A little around the back? Yeah. Now it's legitimized, but I think that's an apt metaphor. It's the same with music too. There's like a time where it can be perceived as, I suppose we could be nice and say different, but like worse.
Yeah.
Like you're not trying.
Yeah, and I think that's what it came off to them as I wasn't taking it seriously, and I wasn't trying. I was just getting up and saying whatever, and it was so frustrating because I'm like, if you can't see the technical work that's like, what do you mean, you know?
Right.
But it really was just because it wasn't packaged up the way they thought it should be packaged up.
Do you think it was caring potentially, or do you just think it was shit talk?
No, it was fucking hate.
I was trying to put a nice spin on it, because here's where that question was coming from. I remember when I was starting, there was such a making it reproducible was like where the money seemed to be. Like you're going to do Letterman or something. Remember when that was the bar?
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to do Letterman, and Letterman is like, what are you going to open with? Like you have to open with like a. My opener was, you ever hail a cab just to stop it from hitting you? That was like I needed that, like, pow!
Yeah,
like right out the gate.
Out the gate.
Something right away.
Yeah.
And when I remember it was me and Kumail would watch somebody, and I remember Kumail just going like, he doesn't write his bits down. And it was just like saying like he doesn't take it seriously. Like he never does it the same way twice. But Kumail didn't mean it in like this piece of shit. You'd be watching someone, and this was not a black person, just for what it's worth, just watching someone kill and being like, how are they going to do it again?
Yeah.
Now that seems to be more normal.
Yeah.
And it's actually what I'm complimenting you on. Is there's parts in your act where you go like, old people with their advice to young people, like blah, blah, blah. And you just kind of go blah, 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 blah. Like you don't say it. Mm-mm. And that's not the point. Like, here's what I think what it is like you realize, and tell me if you agree with this. The point isn't the words. The point is, it's like an excuse to hang out with a funny person being funny. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to manipulate you with like, how many pairs are in 2 pairs of pairs?
Yes.
Well, it's actually 6.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, that's one kind of comedy.
Yeah.
And then there's just hanging out. And even just hanging out makes it sound like lazy or stupid, but there's more natural, more flow.
Yeah, and exactly. And that's what I was really trying to find. I was like, well, that's their way to do it, but that way doesn't fit me. And there's this way to like make this natural flow. And people like have said that about me my whole career. Like, I've never really seen you do the same set twice. It's always kind of, but for me, that's a necessity. Like, I get bored so quick. And I feel like the audience can tell when you're done.
Yeah.
And it's like, now you're just serving up shit. And they're just, it feels gross. It just feels so disingenuous and nasty. Yeah. And one thing that is very true about me is I love comedy so much. I have such a respect for it. So a lot of my ways of doing it is to protect that, my love for it, to keep me wanting to do it.
Because like to stay in love with your wife.
Yeah, because like once you turn it into like a job and now I gotta get up and, like I'm not studious. I don't like jobs. Once things fail like that for me, we'll quickly not be together. So I was just trying to make sure I kept it alive for me,
So, okay, a lot of things about that. Well, first of all, you're talking right to my heart, because I'm touring right now, and that 5th show on a weekend, and you're kind of like, fuck this goddamn thing again. So I know some comics that'll go out of order, and that's one way to keep it fresh. It seems to me, what is your approach? You're going to say it differently? Like, you don't know how
I go out of order sometimes. I say it differently. Sometimes, like, in this very, like, kind of destructive way, I just blow the whole setup. I just I'll start in a really fucked up place that I know they're gonna hate me for.
Yes.
I'll turn them completely against me.
Yes.
Have it be contentious and then
do
try
that?
to win them back.
Yes.
I just gotta do something. It's like it's a little psychotic, but it's like if I don't do play these games, I'll just hate this. You're touring for you're doing an hour. You're touring for I toured for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Right. I gotta find the fun. or what are we doing?
But do you have, let's say you do a show and you say the bit perfectly. Like I'm thinking about when you said you get them against you, say, I don't care if people say the N-word with the hard ER. And it's like, you can even feel this crowd that's probably mixed. I was listening to it in the car, so I wasn't watching. But it's like mixed. And people are kind of like different reactions, and then you win them over. But you have this part where you go, it's never a white person on the way up. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, there's the music. I go, that's the lyrics. Mm-hmm. It's never a white person on the way up. The first time you say that, so you're writing from stage, I'm guessing you're playing with the idea. Yeah. Do you write down, it's never a white person on the way up? Do you jot it down? Do you listen to the set? Like, how do you make sure when you were filming that special, without ruining it, you also don't want to forget to say it's never a white person on the way up. That was the last branch they could grab. Like, that's good language.
Once I love it, I just love it.
You'll have it.
And I'll have it.
Yeah.
Like, once I landed that language, I was like, oh, no, that's it. Like,
right.
And I love saying it. It makes me chuckle. Like, it does a little thing for me to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, that's when I know I'm hooping now. I'm like, oh, that's nasty.
Right.
You got to keep that. That's nasty.
But if you don't do it for a while, you don't have any way to refresh it. Do you listen to it or look at it?
I will write stuff here and there, but that usually becomes a jumbled mess. Eventually, it's just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Well, it just says it's never a white person on the way up. It's like, what is this note? What is this note?
What the fuck am I talking about? So I will say, because I was more concerned with the precision. This special, like, I think the first special, I was just like, oh my God, I got to do a special. And I was kind of just like, I hope I'm funny, you know? But this one, I was like, no, there's some things I want to achieve. I want some callbacks in there.
Yes.
I want that theme in there. I want that line you can kind of pull through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Certain stuff like that. So once I was into like the 4-month period of like, it's like about 4 months left, my homie, his name's Radio, he was like, yo, I'm down to like tour with you and just like, help you, round this thing on out. And what he would do that was great was like, he's great at listening. He really likes comedy, but he pays attention.
And he'll say,
yeah,
you did it this way or you did it that way.
Yeah. And that was super helpful.
That's what Matt McCarthy, my opener, I feel weird calling him my opener. We tour together. He does the show and he watches and he gives me little notes.
Yeah.
My wife used to do it.
Yeah.
She's with the baby.
Just somebody to do that.
Somebody.
Yeah.
And if you can pour it in my ear right before I go on, like, hey, you said it this way.
Yep.
Like I had a joke on this special. I go, you ever take the lid off a pint of ice cream? No, see, I said it wrong. You ever take the top off a pint of ice cream and just throw the lid away?
Yeah.
And one time I said it exactly like that. It was top, then lid, and he told me, and that's the way we did in the special, but it was him.
Yeah.
It's like this secret world of like allies that doesn't get talked about enough, because we're all like, I write my own shit. Yeah, sure. But sometimes it helps to have.
No, absolutely. And it's like, and I don't think that takes away from anything you're doing.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I'm up here, I'm talking for an hour every night. I'm growing to hate myself. I'm like, you should shut the fuck up, Like, so sometimes you just need somebody to be like, hey, man.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're like auto.
Yeah.
You get off and you're like, I don't even know what the fuck happened.
Do you ever get vulnerability hangovers? Sometimes I get off stage and I'm like, why did I tell them all that? Because you're talking really honestly about, did you get married yet?
Not yet.
So your fiance.
Yeah.
So you're talking really honestly and I'm loving it. And I have all the stuff that I'm doing about my parents and it's really like real. It's like making fun of them and having fun. And sometimes I get back to the hotel and I'm like, why did I do that? You get that way too?
Absolutely.
Because you're tired.
Yeah.
And you're vulnerable and you're falling asleep and you're like, why did I make fun of my fiance?
Right.
or whatever.
Or why did I tell them that personal thing or whatever?
Yeah.
Especially when they come up to you afterwards and like they want to, sometimes you forget you said it.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, man, I shitted on myself before too. And you're like, what? And then you're like, oh yeah, I did overshare in that moment.
That happens to me all the time. It makes sense while it's happening. And that's kind of the job. Would you agree? I feel like we're getting paid to deal with those complicated feelings.
Absolutely. I think that's the job. And I think that like not enough comics acknowledge that that's the job. It's like you're getting paid because you're willing to go there. You're getting paid because you're willing to be uncomfortable. You're getting paid because you're willing to push people's ideas. You're getting paid because you're willing to explore other ways to think about things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like other than that, what the fuck do we need to be like listening to you for?
Right. And you're risking something.
Yeah,
That's what
you
I
got
like.
to.
What I like about your comedy and comedy in general is when it's going like I think there's love under everything you say about your fiance, but I love that you're like, and I'm out here managing stuff and she's interrupting my managing it with her nothing.
With nothing.
And I'm like, I had bit envy. I was like, that's so funny to be like, how much do you think I spent on this hat? You're like, that is ready. I know you already filmed it, but I'm like, that's ready to go. I'm like, that was ready to go. But like, what I'm saying is the job is the risk that they might be upset by it.
Yes.
And maybe you would have to deal with it.
Yes.
And we kind of have to play this weird card like we're carny people or something.
Yes.
And you go like, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And what I like we're giving language to is that sometimes it feels weird to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's not just that we have to deal with, maybe my dad will think it's weird that I'm making fun of him for
no, you
fucking
deal
on my
with
phone.
real repercussions.
And your own.
Yeah,
your
man.
own.
And
yeah.
like, and it's like, it's fact. Like, there's definitely like, me and my fiance, we went through like a rough patch and I like had cheated and we were just in a funky ass space and like, I'm on stage like talking about cheating in this way that's honest to me. And like, we're getting home and I'm in a living hell, I'm in hell.
Wait, she's at the show.
Yeah, sometimes
I'm
she be
listening
there.
to you talking about it.
And then she's like, so that's just your real opinion. So you actually don't give a fuck. And I'm like, man,
Well, talk about this because it's part of you, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you said about cheating, but I'm assuming it's funny to sympathize with yourself
Yeah, 100%.
and understand why you did it.
Mostly, I was just saying, like, she takes it so personal, and she wants me to give her this big reason why I did it, and she wants this really like deep emotional reason. But honestly, I just wanted to fuck some new pussy, and I didn't think past that, and that's the bad thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like I just didn't consider anything
Right,
but what I
right.
wanted, but it's not deep.
Right,
Like it's
right,
not
right,
like
right.
some.
Right.
It
That's
just isn't.
so funny. I swear that thought has crossed my mind where it's not the cheating. It's like I had a friend that did that. And it was not that what he did. It's almost that he didn't understand what it meant to her.
Yes, and that was I would say we were in therapy for like a year and a half. That's what I ended up understanding.
Yeah.
I was like, what I learned in therapy was like, oh, this is bad because it hurts her feelings. It took
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was at a place where I'm like, girl, I didn't do this because I love this girl. I don't care about this girl. But all that stuff was making me sound worse.
That's what I was gonna say. That's the premise. Is it's worse that you're like, I don't care. I also, I never wrote it down, but I had a premise where it was like, you say it didn't mean anything to me. Again, the same friend who cheated on his wife, and he's like, it didn't mean anything. I was like, yes, it did. I'm not talking to you. I was like, it was the greatest moment of your fucking life.
Yeah.
Like, you were miserable, you were depressed, and you found someone that loved you and was paying attention to you, and you fucking loved them in that way.
In that
and now you're
moment.
like, and I don't give a shit. Well, that's true now.
Yeah, but
like,
in that
it
moment,
did in
they
that
were
moment.
giving you whatever you wasn't getting, or
And it
whatever
mattered.
ego thing you needed, or
Yeah, something
whatever. Yeah,
was
whatever.
being neglected. Like you think about the trash. It's like, and that's why he gambles with the mortgage.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we don't even know why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And the cheating might be like more complicated than we know.
Right.
But recognize it's funny. I love that you had to go to therapy because that is relatable. Just
Yeah.
to go like, oh, it meant something to her.
Yeah, like I need to care because it matters to her so much.
Well, that's your bit about guess how much I spent on this hat.
Yeah.
The brain says, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
The heart says, she's just, what I like to say is subtitles on. She's saying, are you thinking about
Yeah.
me? Do you care
Yeah.
about my life?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, and that's like that is the growing up into like my transitioning from a junior man to a man. I think a part of that is learning like, yeah, that's the fucking job. You
Right,
know what I
right,
mean? And
right.
like at the end of the day, like I'm at this place where I'm like, yo, I would never cheat again. And I can say that solidly and wholly and know that because I don't want to hurt her feelings. It's
Yeah.
not because I think cheating is bad. It's not because I feel honestly,
I have the
I
same
don't feel
setup, by
any
the
of that
way.
stuff. But I just don't want to hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
It's not worth hurting
yeah.
her
Oh.
because she actually gets hurt.
You know, dude, I'm so there with you. I tried to do this bit where I was like, I'm just not a sex person, meaning like, I don't want to balance my sex checkbook and have like 9 different things going. And which one of these people are we saying I love you? Like, who likes
Yeah.
butt stuff? You know, like, I don't want to
Yeah.
balance all that effort. So I talk about that on stage too. I go, I'll never cheat on Val, but it's not even because I love her. And my take is because I'm just done meeting new people.
Yeah.
Like I'm bored meeting new people.
Yeah, it's that too. It's definitely that too. But I
Right?
really, yeah, for sure. But I really just had to like grow up and go like, do you want to be the type of person that hurts your girl's feelings?
Right. Right.
Do
And is
you
it
wanna-
worth?
Yeah. And I was like, no, that's not the type of person I want to be. Do you want to be a liar? It requires I had to be honest with myself. Like, you're being deceptive. You're
Right.
like, these are just not qualities you want to have. But when it was being brought to me on the base argument of like, how could you fuck somebody else and love me? It was like easy. That's not
Right.
That's not a hard thing to do.
Right. That's actually not the issue. The issue is that
Yes.
you don't like that I had sex with somebody else. Because I could do that all the time. And who
Exactly.
cares?
Like, we're gonna live in that part of the argument.
Right. We're going to live in that part of the argument.
What are we doing? You know?
Yeah, but I love that you got to a place where you could understand. Because you talk
Yeah.
about empathy in your special too. And that's a really hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I actually found that kind of emotional because I was like, that's so many of our parents. It would have been nice if somebody just took the time to empathize. I feel like
Yeah.
that's a modern. We're still not doing great, but we're trying
Yes,
more
yes.
to empathize. And maybe we have more time to empathize. I don't know.
That's true too.
My dad was riding a bike with a huge front wheel or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's-
Like
you know what I
old
mean?
timies.
Right.
Yeah. Try not to give them too hard of a time.
There was like the Dust Bowl. Like they were just
Right.
They were dealing with a lot of shit.
Black and white. Everyone wore hats like they were delivering newspapers, and there were a lot of fist fights. So we're dealing with the stress. What you said something in the special, and I just had it, and I'm forgetting it, and it doesn't really matter.
Great.
How do you feel today?
I feel good, man. I'm like, it feels good to be done with it.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And just like it is what it is now.
And drop it off.
Yeah, and drop it off. And I'm already like doing new jokes, and that's always fun. Like I'm free falling again. I'm not doing it with any like real reason. I'm just doing it because it's fun, and there's no structure to it, and I'm not going in like I gotta work out this piece tonight. You know, I'm just like, I got some thoughts about Joe Biden, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
So that's been super fun, just to get back to just the silly billiness of it all.
This is the conversation I need to be having. I'm going on the road this weekend, and it's just so. I know maybe this isn't that relatable, but even with a dream job, it can get stale.
Yes.
Even with a dream relationship, it can get stale. It's the same kind of thing. You have to like work at it, and what you're reminding me is like I got to disrupt it.
You gotta disrupt it. Absolutely.
That was at your talk show too. Was very disruptive. I really love your talk show.
Oh, thank you.
And I was watching
It
it.
always cracks me up because even before I met
That
you,
white people like it?
No, that white people like you. White people like you. I have this expectation of the white person in my head that likes it, and it is not Pete Holmes by any stretch. So even when I first met you, and you were like, "Yeah, I like that," and you like actually knew it and watched it, I was like, "What the fuck?"
I do sometimes feel bad for the cutting to the white people. Sometimes you're having a conversation, and I know what the white people are feeling. As a white person, I'm like, they don't know what to say. They don't know what they can agree with, and they're just kind of like, but that's very entertaining to me. But the cuts to them can be very funny. It can be very, very funny. Are you doing a new season of that, or?
No, man. The people didn't get it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's surprising to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I say the people, like Nina and Aaron, who I work with a lot at HBO, they got it.
Yeah.
I think when the new people came in, they had a different agenda, and they were like, we don't really see. But I knew I was doing something very niche.
Yeah.
I always knew that. The 2 seasons I got, I really felt like I got away with something. I was like, oh, they're gonna let me do this again? Okay. So it wasn't devastating by any stretch of the imagination. It was like, oh, it's cool, I got to do that long.
Right, and it was an achievement.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you did pull something off.
Yeah.
I'll also add to that, just to depersonalize it a little bit. A lot of times when regimes change or people change, they just want to do something new.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they like it or not. They'll just I don't want to keep doing what someone else was doing.
Yeah, and anytime I'm very realistic about the things I make, and it's like, first of all, this is a business. I'm asking someone for their money. You know, like that's the reality of it. That's what getting a show is like, giving money to do my idea.
Yep, that's right.
And I can totally understand if there was some white man executive who, saw a bunch of girls fucking fruit and me yelling with a big strap on and was like, I don't quite understand this. And I don't know where this lives. That's fine. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine, dude.
It would have been weird if you did get it. But that's what was fun about it, was it felt like a party I wouldn't get to go to. And I don't even mean that as a white person. I just mean as a lame married dad. I'm watching like something that feels distinctly New York and like fun and social and real. But it was really interesting.
That's what I was going for. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like I got to do it, and and you know what? People like, it's weirdly culty. Like, people come up to me all the time. They're like, I fucking love pauses are coming back. And I'm like, no. And they're like, what? You know what I mean? And they're like, oh my God.
Somebody was kidnapped.
This is a female alert.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. Have you noticed that because everyone's posting clips of on social of crowd work, that crowds are talking to you more?
Yes. And I fucking hate it.
I fucking hate it too.
And I want the people to stop doing
I
it.
want us all. You know who has the power to stop? It's us.
Yeah, the
It's
crowd work
us.
shit.
Fucking stop it.
I get it,
You're
man.
posting the worst part of your show.
Yeah.
I get that you don't want to burn material.
I get it, man,
Maybe
but
it's just a picture of your breakfast.
I don't know,
can't.
but like, it's the crowds are rowdier.
They're talking.
And they think they matter. It's like, I think, and truly, they do. It's like,
they matter to the show. It's like, we better do some shit or we won't have anything to post.
You can't embolden them like that.
No.
You have to let them know that they're insignificant at the same time. That's
you're the most important thing.
It's a sick little game, but you have to let them know, like, you don't run this.
It doesn't work.
And I don't need you to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they think they're helping.
Oh, they absolutely
and that was
think they're
already
helping,
a problem.
And they absolutely think they're part of it now, and they're like, I'm giving you a leg up.
That's right.
Thank
this
me.
poor guy or lady doesn't have anything to post. I'll give him something that'll go viral.
I'll give them a viral moment,
Get the
you know?
and now there's cameras on them. The cameras don't go that way.
Yeah, no, don't
cameras go this way.
Don't talk to me.
That's the whole point.
Don't talk to me.
And it's for everyone's good. It's for everyone's good.
Don't talk
If
to me.
fucking I'm trying. Mario Batali's cooking you a meal. You don't come up and start dicing stuff. Like, let him cook.
Yeah, I don't like it. I wish the people would stop.
Me too. It just happened. I went out on stage, and sometimes if I see an empty chair, in the front, I'll gesture to it. Everybody does it. I'll be like, "Oh, empty chair," and someone just yells out, "It's for," and the name of the person they came with, who I went to college with, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, we're talking in the first 10 seconds of my show.
Don't do
Which,
that.
by the way, if you have a guest, their friend is going to fuck up the show. Have you noticed that
Yes.
phenomenon? If you invite somebody, they're going to bring someone that's going to yell some
just gonna
shit.
do dumb shit.
Because it's free.
Yeah.
Have you also noticed that if you have guests at the show and they come back, they won't say anything about the show?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. You'll put 11 people on the guest list. They all come back. No one says great show.
No.
Sometimes, because Matt McCarthy knows this, we'll be like, and what a great show. Like, we'll start saying
Yeah,
it.
no, they won't say anything.
Incredible
They'll just
show.
start talking about other shit.
Right. Green room, well, but it's gray.
Or sometimes, like, they'll come back and they'll talk to you about, like, the opener.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not trying to be like a narcissist here, but
Dude, this is what we were talking about earlier, is they think we're like high on our own supply after the show, when really we're drained.
Yeah, you're
and we're
low.
tired, and you have people that you knew, which I don't want, and you could use just a little like, that was great.
yeah.
That was great.
And I would say this: you're high, but it's like not a good one.
It's complicated.
Yeah, it's not a good
complicated-
one.
Yeah. It's like mushrooms.
Yeah.
You talk about mushrooms in your special, which I love. And you know when you're on mushrooms and you're like, this, like you're looking at reality, you're like, this is all good. I don't know about
Yeah.
this. Like literally
Yeah.
an area. Like it's not bad.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna look over there
Yep.
for a little while.
Yep. Yep.
Because it's got like kind of like a hairy, dark.
doing something.
It's doing something.
Yeah.
And I think it wants me. I think it wants me to go like and get pulled into
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But I'm not gonna let myself.
Yeah. Yeah. How often are you doing that, mushrooms?
You know, I don't know. Whenever I feel like it, you
Yeah.
know, it's not like an everyday thing. But I'm not like, oh, I can only do it once a month. I'm just like whenever I'm in the mood.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So sometimes somebody gave me some mushrooms recently, and just the smell of them, and I get kind of like it reminds you of what it can do, and you get kind of like tense, but you're not afraid of them.
No, I'm not afraid of my brain.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. No,
Never had a bad trip?
of course I have. Of course I have.
You pull yourself out of it, or do you just
I go to bed, baby.
you go to bed?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, if it starts going left, I turn off all the lights. I cut down all like the sensories.
Yeah.
I like black out, no TV, no music, go to sleep.
And you can fall asleep even though something's like,
Yeah.
hello, Sam.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're just like,
I'm just like, no.
I believe that you can.
No, I'm going to bed.
But when you take them, how much are you taking? Do you measure?
Sometimes I microdose. Sometimes, I'll take like, if I want to like, it depends on what I'm doing. Cause like, like now that everybody's like into it and there's like, you can microdose, you can do this, you can do that.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm on like a city amount of shrooms and I'm just like in the city and I'm chilling and it's like chill.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to like trip. That's another thing. You know what I mean? So
And that's more for nature, you think?
yeah, more for nature. Or if
Yeah.
I'm like in my room and I know I'm like just gonna be listening to some cool music.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I just want to like let my thoughts be expansive and
Yeah.
do whatever. You know what I mean?
The bit, I don't want to ruin it, but the bit about seeing white people dancing while on
Oh,
mushrooms.
thank you.
And then you go, but she's on mushrooms and she goes, no, they're so free.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not even bound by the beat.
No.
And I was like, that is the most mushroomy, and it's so simple. But like, for real, why are you being so hard on yourself
Yeah.
that you have to like,
Yes.
like music and a body has to be
And
a
my
certain
and
way?
my whole life,
Yeah.
I've been this hard on myself.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. You want to like fit in, and mushrooms is like fit into what?
What?
We're in outer space.
Yeah.
Like we're in outer
Yeah.
space and nothing is
Be
real.
off beat, Sam. Who cares?
That is so funny. Is there a trip that comes to mind that was like very profound for you or changed your life?
You don't know. I feel like it wasn't, I've never, and this might be because I've never like, I'm gonna go to the woods or Joshua Tree and I'm gonna fucking trip. I've never done that. You know what I mean? So that's probably not why, but I feel like every time it's made me feel small. That's why I explain mushrooms. Like, it makes me feel insignificant in this way that is necessary. Like that's what it does for me every time. It just shrinks me. And I'm like, guess what? You don't fucking matter. Like, there's this whole world, there's
in
all
the
this
good
stuff.
way.
Yeah, in this good way of
Yeah.
like, you don't matter. So like, get out your own way and get your head out your ass, because like, people don't give a fuck about you that much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
But there's a good way and a bad
yeah,
way.
no, not in a bad way. Not in a
Right.
like, so why am I alive way? It's more in a like, so why am I so hung up on shit way?
Right.
You know?
Exactly. I just heard Ira Glass on This American Life was like, name 5 people from the 15th century. And I was like, oh, wow, that's a good one. Like, you can't. No one can. Maybe a historian can do
Yeah.
it. But like, and all of those people thought all of their stuff was so important.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. You know what sometimes I do on YouTube? They have these color corrected, like someone will just put a camera and you know it was like the size of a suitcase on a corner in LA in like 1918 and they just let it roll. So it was black and white and it was all sped up
Yeah.
and goofy, but they fix it and they slow it down and they color it. And I'm like,
Kind of like that a war movie that what you call it did. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
It was a Peter Jackson.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that movie's awesome.
That one. I need to see that. I
Oh,
didn't
it's
see
so
it.
good.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe it.
It's really, really good.
But in the set you watch and you go like, each one of these people is like late for work or like a little bit lonely that day. And you go like, so what?
Yeah.
It's all passing. It's all going away.
Yeah, and that's what shrooms kind of does. So then that allows me to just like live more in my own truth and like
Yeah.
go for it. And because it's like, yeah, man, these are all just moments, you know?
Yeah. Somebody, it's Pima Chodron says like, you're the sky and everything coming through is like a bird or a cloud. And it's all, you know what I mean? But there is something, have you ever had that experience on mushrooms where you're like, what you are is something other than Sam? Like you're
Yes.
like, yeah. And that's calming too.
Yeah.
See, sometimes I think it's like when I talk this way with people that you are like awareness or you're like knowing. You're the thing that like knows. You're the quality of knowing. It's so hard to talk about. And everything else is just kind of coming and going. That's a fun belief. I suppose you could turn that into a religion. But why I'm always talking about that is because when you rest in that place, there's nothing to worry about.
Yes.
That's why.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm asking you, and that's why I'm glad you
Yeah.
had that experience.
Yeah,
And when I
absolutely.
was on mushrooms, I was like, this idea that we're like separate, that we're localized, like I'm stuck in this, and the tree is over there, and you're over there, is so it's paranoia. It's like
Yes.
insanity.
Yes.
And you're like, I'm sustained by my heart and my brain.
Exactly,
and-
because it's all like it's all working together.
Yes.
And that's what I mean by you're small. Like
Yeah.
you're just a cog in the machine, you
Right.
know? Like it's
That's
all,
right.
yeah. it's
You're
all-
a part of a thing.
Yes.
You belong.
Yes.
That's what the mushroom will say to you is
Absolutely.
like, you're not a visitor here, you're a product of it.
Yes.
Right. Alan Watts says you don't come into the world. Like you weren't born into the world, you came out of the world.
Yeah.
It's like you were like an apple on a tree or something.
It's exactly that.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's natural. And that's a really powerful I think we're all looking for the feeling of like, am I okay? Am I okay here? Which again is what's so beautiful about comedy in general is when you're up on stage and you're talking about peeing on yourself first thing. Like that's what we should be doing. up
Yeah.
there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not talking about winning and dominating and
No.
being rich and
Right,
like,
because-
talk about your stress, talk about your
yeah,
fear.
because everybody's having it and we're all experiencing this thing and it's fucking weird.
It's so fucking weird. Do you remember we were on a Zoom together and I think you were stoned?
We're like in love. It's so weird. I never thought this would be,
Oh, you and I?
but every time we get together, I'm like, I love this dude.
I love you too. This is great. Well, that's what I was going to say. There was this moment where it was just you and me, and we were on a Zoom. It was during the pandemic. And I started going off on this. We were watching a lot of Great British Bake Off, and I started going off on this thing about how baking is feminine. And I was like, because it comes out of ovens. That's like a vagina. It's like a cave. It's all eggs and milk You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
everyone was like turned on me. And then you were like, I get it. You were like, and then you said, it might be because I'm stoned, but I completely understand what this person is like. Everything is so much weirder than we give it credit for. And
Absolutely.
like, even the fact that you're aware of your experience is the thing that no one is talking about. Like you're here.
Yeah.
And like,
And it's like weird and like nobody even knows why.
right. And we just go around and put balls in hoops and
and like make up the whys, but we really don't know why, which is like then the only why is like as corny as it sounds, because this all comes from like hippie culture, right? And drug culture, but it's very true. Like the only why is like to love each other, man. You know, it's like we be good to one another, man. Cherish the experiences and the moments you're having with one another, because like other than that, we have no explanation for this shit, dog.
I think like love is the only thing that's real, or love is the only thing that matters. Rupert Spira, who I mention all the time, he says it's like this is God's dream, and it's our job to just make it as nice of a dream for ourselves as possible, instead of having like a weird fucking dream. Why are you doing that?
And the only thing that is lasting, right, is considering like the world doesn't just like obliterate itself all at one time. The only thing that is lasting is who you were in the moments.
Yeah.
How you treated people, how you made people feel. That's what people remember.
Right.
They like you die. People can't sometimes even remember your fucking face.
Yeah.
But they can remember how you made them feel.
Yes. That's it. I think about this all the time. Because I have a daughter now, and I'm just like, in Interstellar, they're like, it's the parents' job. You're just ghosts of their future. Like, you're their memories. That's my job. My only job, that's some trippy shit right there.
Yeah.
I'm just here to be a good memory.
Absolutely.
So my daughter will be like, I deserve love.
Yes.
I deserve a
100%.
good person in my life.
My mom died when I was 16 years old. But I always say like what she implanted in me by raising me and leaving those like actual memories and the feeling of being loved, the feeling of being valued, teaching me how to value myself, teaching me how to be good to people. When I was being a bully, telling me that wasn't, correcting that behavior. All of that stuff, that's what's left. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I don't necessarily always, sometimes I can't even make out her face, because at this point, I've been alive without a parent longer than I've been alive with a parent.
Right.
So I don't always remember
But you
stuff,
get the face isn't the point.
Yeah, but I remember how I'm supposed to be.
Right.
And I remember how I was loved, and that's what I remember.
Yeah, it's beautiful. There was a time when you used comedy for evil. You were a bully.
There was, I had some years.
Yeah, in school.
Yeah, but I wasn't. I will always say there was a time when I was like, I feel like every girl goes through this, like you're turning that mean girl corner, and I was like turning it, and my mother was like, "No, you're not gonna be one of those.
Really?
Like that's not how we treat people.
Yeah.
That's not what we do.
Right.
You know what I mean?" And kind of was very like big on correcting that, which I think was important, because I would have turned into an asshole. I do think I've always been a bully, but I've always been a righteous bully. I would say, like I've never like bullied someone like, oh, you don't have as much money as me, or you're poor, but it was just kind of like, man, don't be corny, don't be lame, like
right.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Like
not just like pushing a small kid.
No, yeah.
That's like a 80s bully.
Yeah.
You were just speaking your mind and probably being funny.
Yeah, and being like, like if I saw something in somebody and I felt like they weren't like going for it, I was kind of that kind of bully. Like, oh, so you're just gonna be a punk and not do this? You know what I mean? Like, you want to do it.
Like Fight Club.
Yeah.
Do you remember Fight Club?
Yeah, righteous bullying.
Where they take Raymond out and they go, if you're not on your way to being a vet in 1 year. Yeah.
I'm that's the type
You're
of
a
bully.
Tyler Durden bully.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So she died when you were 16. Yeah. When did you start doing comedy? Oh, not till your 20s.
Yeah, not till my 20s.
And was that hard? I mean, I'm assuming it was.
Yeah. It took me a while to find my way out. But again, I had the lessons, and that's why I always say,
you had that
like,
foundation.
Yeah, and I always say, like, my mother still raised me, even though she wasn't around.
Yeah.
she laid that good foundation in those lessons, and they were really in there. So
Yeah.
those were the things I pulled on to find my way out.
16 years of real mom
Yeah.
is better than 40 years of half
Like
mom.
real mom going
real mom.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny when I say you got those formative years.
Yeah, no, absolutely,
When
I
your
agree.
brain was forming.
I agree.
I was going to say, like, you can cram it in. That's the thing I wasn't trying to be funny.
Yeah, no.
But you can. Like,
Yeah.
you can sort of mash it in, and it sounds like she did. How
Yeah.
did she pass?
She had lupus and just had complications from it.
That sucks because lupus is one of those go-to comedy diseases. I didn't even know because it sounds like
Yeah.
loopy. You know what I mean? It's just kind of a funny sounding
Yeah.
word. A couple bits come to mind, but like I didn't even know you could die from
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't even know what it is.
It's an autoimmune disease where your immune system like turns on your body essentially.
Oh, really?
It starts to attack your body. Like it just acts like if it's attacking your lung, it's like all your like white blood cells are like, oh, that's a cold, and they go like ape shit on your actual like working
Wow.
stuff that you need.
And there no cure. So she
No, but you can like. There's a lot more like maintenance drugs and like there's a lot
Now.
more like knowledge about what it is and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So yeah, but no cure for it.
and it was a slow process.
It felt slow, but I guess now that I'm grown, maybe it was kind of quick. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like we found out. I was probably like 9 or 10 or something like that, and then she passed away when I was 16.
How do you care? Because you're in high school. How do you care about high school while you're mom?
Oh, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't. You spiral. You know. I
yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing well in school. I was really like checking out, you know, because me and my mom were also super close. So it was really tough on me. And I was going into full like checkout mode. I was just like,
Did you have friends? I mean,
I
how
had
do you,
friends,
You had
yeah.
friends. But how do you even have a friend when you're
I
going
would-
through something like that? I mean, you need a friend.
I've never been like, I'm learning this in therapy. I've never been able, I've always been one of those type of, I'm good
Yeah.
people. I've never wanted like, and I think it's mostly because like, I never wanted my friends to treat me different because my friends were also an escape from what was going on.
Right.
So it was like, I don't want this part of my life in this part of my life.
Right.
When I'm with my friends, I just want to be my fucking friends. I want it to feel like chill. So I really just wouldn't talk about it.
And that's what's good about kids. I mean, it's not necessarily the most helpful thing if that's all you had. But grown-ups were probably like, how you doing?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that tone.
Yeah.
They're going to crouch
Yeah.
down to you
Yeah.
and want to get real. And you're like, can't I just play
Yeah.
PlayStation or whatever you
Yeah,
wanted
or
to
just
do?
chill or whatever. So I really just wouldn't talk about stuff like that.
And did you get into like escapes? Were you doing drugs? Were you drinking? I mean,
I started drinking after.
After.
Yeah. So I started drinking about like 17. And I would say like in my 20s, it was bad for a while. Like I was like drinking excessively and
do you
like
feel like it was
blackout and shit like that.
tied right to your mom?
Yeah, I was depressed for a long time.
I mean, we don't know how to mourn. We don't know how to process. That would have taken like a team
Yeah,
of dedicated psychologists to get
I
you
would say
through.
for 6 years, I was like, I didn't see a purpose. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. For sure. I was just like, I don't know why I'm here or why any of this. None of it mattered. You know what I mean? I was definitely moving through life that way for a good chunk.
And the drinking
Yeah.
was just kind of like how you got kind of by.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what was it? In 20s, you were blacking out and stuff. Never got in trouble, though?
No, never got any trouble. Never went to jail or anything like that. I did pass out one time and woke up in a hospital. But honestly, I'm not even gonna get into that. I feel like a bunch of people were overreacting. I'll just say that.
Okay. You mean the people that took you to the
Yeah,
hospital?
it was like they were doing too much. All I needed was a nap. Basically, I had.
Sure, they thought something had
Yeah,
happened.
I had a
but yeah.
boyfriend at the time, and I had come back to Boston. He was living in Boston, I was living in Atlanta, and I was drinking a bunch in Atlanta. Like I would get shit faced with my friends all the time. Someone would all like, and I'm not saying it's healthy, but we were all young.
Yeah.
We were all being wild. We were all, now that I look at it, running from different things in our lives. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And it didn't seem like a problem because we were also in a party city.
Yep.
And everybody was drinking every night excessively.
right,
Like,
right.
It wasn't weird. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
No, I do.
And if someone would pass out, which we probably should have brought people to the hospital several times, but we thought we were scientists and we're like, they just get them some water and just make sure you sit them up so they don't choke on their own throw up. And we're like, we did it, and that was kind of how we would handle shit like that. And we'd like throw somebody in the fucking shower. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, get it together,
But that wasn't working for you, and they took you to the hospital.
No. So now I'm like with my ex-boyfriend. He's kind of a fucking square. Love, I still love this kid to this day, but he was a nerd,
You still friends with your ex?
Yeah, we don't talk as much as we used to. It's trailed off in the last 2 years, but for a while, we would definitely really check in with each other. And I don't know, I have a thing for nerds. Nerds are just attracted to me. They just they just flock to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
So he was kind of a dork, and we were drinking, and I hadn't been drinking because I was home. So I wasn't drinking like I was drinking in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But we went out and these kids had like a bottle of 151 and I was like, yeah, we're gonna get fucked up tonight. And I like just turned it all the way to 10 and I hadn't been drinking and I went to the bathroom and I passed out. I went to pee and I like passed out on the toilet. So he said he came in and I was just like passed out. So he
And you're like, shut up, square.
he like freaks out and he calls 911.
Wow.
And
Were you on the toilet like Elvis?
he said like Elvis, but I don't know. I don't know if I fell off or what. I don't know. I'm sure it was alarming. I won't take that away. Positive it was
There's
alarming.
no way that it's like dignified.
No.
It's not regal.
No.
Yeah,
I know it was not dignified, And so, and all his friends are nerds. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
They're not cool friends. We'll be like, she's fine.
Yeah.
This is how you solve that. They're all like these, we gotta get her to the hospital types. So they call the ambulance. I remember waking up in the ambulance and thinking, what the fuck is going on? And I just went back to sleep. And then I woke up in the hospital and I was like handcuffed to the bed. Like that's what I like woke up and I tried to move my arm and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I was like, what the fuck? Where am I? And he was in the room looking very solemn, like he had like a full addict of a girlfriend. And he was like, we're in the hospital. I'm like, what happened? He's like, you passed out on the toilet. And I'm like, why the fuck am I handcuffed? Like, what is that about?
Like Ethan Hunt, like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I'm like, why the fuck am I handcuffed? And he was like, because you were trying to fight the nurses and then you spit on a nurse and they had to like restrain you. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, you kept telling them to just get the fuck off you, leave me alone. And I'm like, why did you bring me to the hospital? And he's like, because you passed out on the toilet. I'm like, dude, I just needed to sleep,
Right.
And I'm like, so what was I saying? He was like, you were just telling the nurses to get off you and just let you sleep. I was like, see, like, I wasn't, and then I could justify it all in my head. I was like, I wasn't being hostile to the nurses. There's all this shit going on around me. I'm fucking blackout. It's like, just let me sleep. Like,
Right,
you guys are like
right.
now poking and
You're
prodding me and fucking.
You're saying, why did you bring me to this place with all these people I can harass?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, 'cause
Yeah. All you had to do is just put me in a back room. I would have woke up and been like, all right.
I feel like I'm on pause. Have you noticed a phenomenon that black women love dorky white dudes?
A little.
Sometimes
Yeah.
autistic-y
Yeah,
kind of guys.
yeah. A little spectrum-y.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
There's somebody I know in my family who's on the spectrum, white guy, obviously, and he dates exclusively black women. And I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah. We like to take care.
Is that it? Was this dude white?
No.
No.
But he was definitely
But dorky.
spectrum-y.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what I was. I thought I was opening a whole can of worms, and you're like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not the arbiter of that topic. But you like nerds.
Yeah.
You can say you like taking care of like a gentler.
I like people who think different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. And then when did you just realize you were gay? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're dating this dude and you're 16, 17,
It was like
18.
a slow realization for sure.
It's
you know?
late, right?
Yeah, it's late. I'm about 24. Dicks aren't working out, and I'm like, I don't know what's up. They're not.
Dicks are not working
It's just
out.
not working out.
What
Like
is
I'm
not working
trying.
out?
I'm
Yeah.
trying. I'm like,
Can I just sympathize as someone who also isn't attracted to dicks, being like, what a weird situation to be in.
yeah,
Like,
I
this
was
is
trying
what's on
hard.
the menu.
Yeah, I was trying hard, and I was like, it ain't working. I'm trying different sizes. I'm like, I don't know.
You
what
mean
to
it
do.
wasn't feeling good?
It just, there was just no connection. I just couldn't. And then I was like, and I had sex with my ex-boyfriend and we had a connection, but also, you know, we were dating since we were 15.
Yeah, you
and
were in
shit.
love. You
we
loved
were
the
like, it was like
person.
young love, and
Yeah.
like we went through the death of my mom together,
Yes.
and like all of that. So then I was like, maybe that's the thing. It's just like I just have to be in deep love with somebody.
Yeah.
But like I'm just like I just wasn't into dudes. Like
Yeah.
once I got into the dating pool, you know, this is like my first boyfriend, and then this is the guy I'm with till I'm like 21,
Yeah.
22 years old. So once I got into like the dating pool, I was like, I'm just not that into this.
This guy carried you through a very
Yeah.
crazy time in your life. Your mom
Yeah.
passed. You're about to start doing comedy. You had your trouble with alcohol, like
Yeah.
a heavy period there. So of course you love this person.
I like that you didn't call me an alcoholic.
You were an alcoholic.
I like that you said you had your troubles.
You had your troubles. It's like I work for you, and of course Sam had her troubles. Like, but I don't want to get fired. You had that. Do you think you're an alcoholic?
No, I think I had some troubles.
You had some trouble.
Yeah.
You throw it back at me.
Yeah.
No. Troubles is different.
Troubles is different.
Troubles is different.
Troubles is different.
Yeah.
It's just some murky water for a little bit, you know?
But you were so bonded. You tell me where I'm wrong. You felt this person was so there for you. It's
Yeah.
the wrong gender, but you love this person.
Yeah.
There's this bond. You're
Yes.
like trauma bonded
Yes.
from your mom's
A little bit.
passing.
Absolutely.
This difficult time. And that must have really confused things, being like, I bet sex with somebody that wasn't even your thing, but you're that close, could be intimate and
Absolutely.
could fool you.
Absolutely.
That you're like, I guess this is...
I like penises, I
yeah,
guess.
I like penises, I
I'm
guess.
coming, you know, I'm not coming. You know?
Right. But it's interesting. It's not the anatomy as much with women. Is it the connection?
It's all of it.
It's all
I'm
of
just
it.
not that into it.
Right.
Like when I was trying to find the connection, it wasn't there. And then it was like, I'm having sex with these dudes. I'm like, I'm not fucking really getting anything out of this. And I'm like, I'm going hard. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm going hard.
You're going for it.
I'm going for it.
You gave it a good
I'm
go.
trying to decide, like, am I just like a freaky bitch? I'm having one night stands. I'm like, maybe I'm a freaky hoe. That's my
Wow,
shit.
wow.
Like, for real.
Did you
like,
feel pressure to
I'm
be
trying to
straight?
figure it
Were
out.
you like,
no,
yeah.
I'm such a fucking weird ass person that I have to do everything to make a decision.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm like, I won't write something off
Yeah.
until I've thoroughly
Yes.
like done it, and then
Yes.
I'll go, okay, like no,
Right,
You know,
right.
But I gotta know person, so
Yeah.
I'm going hard for it, and it's just not happening. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm not getting anything out of this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm in Atlanta at this time too, and so there's a big black gay community there, and a big, you know, black lesbian community there, and like fine ass women are hitting on me, and I'm like, I don't know why this is happening because I am walking around straight,
interesting.
and I'm like, this is weird. Like, am I throwing?
It's like people saw it before.
yeah, but
you.
even when I was young, I gave off like lesbians would hit on me and shit. Like,
Yeah.
I've been giving off dyke energy my whole life that I wasn't
I
aware
felt
of.
you about to say that, and then you were like, "You can say that. It's your show."
Yeah, I was not aware of. So,
So it's like
yeah.
they knew before you, which has to be
Yeah.
nice to be folded into a community. It's like they came and got you.
yeah, kind of.
They picked you up.
Kind of. And then I was like, I don't know. I'm a person who's not scared of my brain, and I don't have fear. So it wasn't like a fear. I never had this like, oh my God. I never felt that way. I was like, I don't know, maybe I should try to eat a pussy and see what the deal is.
Wow. And was it like homecoming?
Oh, it was like, whoa.
Wow.
Oh. And then like it was like like those flashbacks of your whole life. And then I was like, oh, bitch, you're so gay.
Oh my God.
Like, oh no, you've been like so gay this whole fucking time. All these girls in school that were your friends, you were totally crushing on all these fucking girls.
Whoa.
Like, what the fuck? And it was like, I finally made sense to myself. That awkward, because I was always awkward.
Yeah.
That awkwardness that I've always felt that I didn't know where to put it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
Cool. I get it now.
I mean, everybody should be so lucky. Honestly, that's a little bit how I feel about comedy. Sometimes you ever do a set and you're like, how are people getting by without something like that?
Yeah.
Like you have to find
Yeah.
your thing, and sexually you found your
Yeah.
thing. I mean, I know a lot of straight and gay people that don't feel that way. You know what I mean? Like they're not fully
Yeah.
expressing themselves or know themselves well enough to know what they want. So it's great that you do. And the first one, was that a date? Was that a The first woman.
Yeah, it was like we were like kicking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just like a first date type of thing. We had been kicking it.
Yeah.
But we weren't like together.
And were you together after?
Yeah, because that's how lesbians work.
I was gonna. Yeah, that's very lesbian. For a while.
For a while.
You move in.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
Look, sometimes stereotypes happen.
I mean, it's real.
It happens.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it is.
Pardon the interruption, weirdos. This episode is brought to us by our friends at LMNT, LMNT. LMNT. It's the morning time as I'm recording this intro. I just drank a big glass of water with my element in it, which makes it so much more pleasant to drink because the flavors are incredible, but it also helps me actually hydrate my body and not just flood it with water, because healthy hydration isn't just water, it's water plus electrolytes. The problem is a lot of products that are going to give you electrolytes are also going to give you like 20 grams of sugar. It's insane. So you need LMNT. LMNT is a huge part of my wellness program and part of my morning routine that I sincerely look forward to. I start in the morning with watermelon salt. I mix it. I'm good to go. What is it? It's the optimum ratio of sodium, potassium, and magnesium that helps with health, performance, and energy, because we all know dehydration is bad news, and it takes these elements that we need in our body to get those headaches away, low energy, cramps, confusion, worse. I use it for that neural connectivity mainly. I also use it after I sauna, obviously. I use it after I work out, obviously. But just in the morning before I've even done anything, just to kickstart my day, get me ready to face it, get everything flowing hydration-wise, and feel like everything's in my brain. I absolutely love it. It tastes amazing. And if I'm fasting, which I often am, it's great to be able to sip something that is very, very, I think it's like 5 calories, which is, basically 0 calories for me when I'm fasting. I don't really count it, that's what I'm saying. I love it, and you need to try it. People say that after they run, they drink an element, like an orange salt element, and it basically, this is what my friend said, he's like, it makes me feel high. It replenishes so much of what you're sweating out and so much of what your body needs. So, support your body, support this show. Go to drinklmnt.com/weird and use promo code WEIRD, and you'll get a free element sample pack with any order when you order. I love these sample packs. I get them because I use the promo code to get my own element, and it's so fun to be able to try all the different flavors. There's like a habanero one, which I didn't think I would love. There's a mango chili one. There's like spicy ones that I didn't think I would love. And the chocolate salt one is incredible hot. I often drink that at night like hot chocolate, but it's like a 5-calorie hot chocolate that is actually giving your body what it lost during the day. So drinkelement.com/weird for your free sample pack with any purchase. That's drinkelement.com/weird. All right, everybody, back to the show. But I mean, talking about masculine and feminine, what's interesting about feminine energy that men and women can have, it's like it is so nurturing. It's like we can do this. Like I get why 2 women together might statistically have more openness to the potential of this being amazing. Yeah. Whereas men can be like, I'm a lumberjack and I don't know, the fire might come tomorrow, and they're more scared.
Yeah, and I think also like the nature of masculinity is so like get out in the world and conquer and go and it's like with women it's like, I like you. Why would I keep going to look for stuff?
Yeah.
Like,
I found it.
Yeah, I like you. Right. I like this. Why don't we just do this?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Why do I gotta do this and then I know I like this and then go look for another thing to
Which
like?
is so funny because women, the other stereotype is women don't know where they want to go to dinner. You know what I mean? How can it be both? How can it be like, on one hand, they don't want to commit to a restaurant, but they will commit to, I'm just talking in stereotypical terms.
No, I get it. I think it's because like
men know where they want to go to eat, but they can't pick a person. Women don't know where they want to go to eat, but will pick a person.
Yeah, I think it's like there's a passiveness that's kind of ingrained in femininity of like, you don't have to make those kind of decisions.
Well, that's in your bit, right? That's in your bit.
Yeah, there's this level of just like my girl, she says it jokingly. Absolutely, she's joking, but I'll be like, babe, like, you need to fucking tap in. Like, where are we going? Or like, what? And she's like, babe, I have you so I don't have to think. Just like, tell me. She's like, I don't feel like thinking. That is the deal here.
Right. Right.
Tell me.
Just let me ride.
Yeah, just let me ride.
Yeah. And I think men, I like that Val, this is, look, you talk about being stressed so you have to take care of stuff. And I'm with you. Like maintaining. I actually love that part of the act where you're like, men have to get it and then they have to maintain it. Women can build something and burn it down the same day. It's like very funny. Men are maintaining it. There's all this stress to it. And as I'm listening to it, I'm like, it's one of those things that is stressful and I like it.
Yeah, no, it's very satisfying.
You know what I mean? I'm like, but I even like complaining about it.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's all very satisfying. Like, but that was kind of like the funniness to it to me was like, you know, when I was dating men and on that side of it, I see all this stuff and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with them?
Yeah.
Why is they making it so this and so that? And then I step into this mental space and I'm like the exact same. You know, I'm like, yeah.
Like your dad in the trash.
Yeah, like my dad in the trash. And it's
Yeah.
like, but I also love it. It gives me purpose.
Right. I
It
wouldn't
gives me
have it
purpose.
any other way.
I wouldn't. Sometimes I like to just watch my girl sleep and be like, she ain't thinking about nothing. That's fire. Like I built
like,
this.
I did that.
I did this.
I
Look
did
at her,
that.
just not thinking about nothing.
Yeah. But then when I'm stressed, the voice of my stress is like, I've said this a million times, but I'm putting it to you. I go, I know my job looks fun. That's how my stress sounds.
Yeah.
I go like, it's much harder.
Yeah.
Like, if Val was sitting right there, she knows this. We're very open. There's a lot of communication in my marriage. I'll be like, when I go on the road, that's not a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I don't even have to say that to her in anger. We just kind of peaceably discuss that. So like it's a tricky thing to negotiate if she's going on a trip, but it's not work, and it's like, and I'm watching Leela. It's like, yeah, but I watched Leela when you were there, and I'm like, yeah, but I was working.
Yeah.
But then I have to watch it like I do. Like I hear my dad. What were we talking? So Val wants to be a director, and I believe in her. Like for real, I believe in her. Like she wrote an incredible script, and I can see it. I can see the headphones with the VC on it. Those are initials. I believe in her, and I'm about it. And she's like, there's this director program, and she's like, it breaks down by weeks, but it's like 40 days or something. And I'm like, and it's like 9 to 5 or something in LA, and I'm like, getting like a little sweaty. And I hear my dad, like I didn't know my dad was in there as loud as he is, but my dad's voice is like, and she's like, you know, when you do Crashing or something, we were in New York for 4 months, and she's not even trying to tit for tat
Yeah.
me. She's just going like,
We can make this work because
it's the same thing. We've made it work before.
Yeah.
And what I'm embarrassed to admit is that Val's had me, I've gotten practice now at going, just imagine it was me. Because if I was like, there's a thing, it wouldn't even be a discussion. It would just be like, I'm gonna do it. I'm doing this. And she's doing it, but why? And it's because she's not getting paid to do it. But then she's like, but you did stand up for 12 years before you got paid. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
My dad, and I'm not blaming my dad. I'm just saying that toxic masculine voice says, if I make money, I can do anything I want.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this is real. That's fucked up. I had to go like,
it is.
oh no. And we got over it. It was one conversation. I was like, you got to do it. I'm about it. But there was that hesitation where I'm like,
It is.
but when I go away for 3 months, it's because I'm shooting a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
dude. You just got here.
Yeah,
You know, I'm
yeah.
talking to myself.
No,
I
absolutely.
just got here.
And it is toxic, but you do think it.
Yeah.
Like even as a woman, and like I've definitely had those moments where I'm like, yeah, but I pay for everything.
Right. Toxic. Tricky.
Why are we having this conversation?
Right.
What is there to talk about? I pay for everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so you have to like, and it's hard not to feel that way because it's hard to make money and pay for stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that goes back to the thing I was just
It's like-
saying.
But it is like, it's a tricky one. It's
Yeah.
a tricky one.
Yeah. But you secretly love it, though.
I love it.
See, that's the thing. So I love it. I love even being stressed about it. I love complaining about it. And then I love going like, but I make the money, or I make the majority of the money. And so I get to do whatever I want. I was like, Dad? Like, that's what Dad said.
Yeah.
And it was his house. You know what I call men? King babies. So sensitive. Like we're like little toddlers with crowns, and we have robes and scepters and shit. But if you make us feel insignificant or
Oh my God.
unappreciated.
Oh my God.
And I'm sure
that's
you're the same
yeah,
way.
that's the biggest thing. I was talking to Andrew Schultz on his podcast. We were talking about this a little bit, but it's like, that is the biggest thing that I don't think men communicate well. And like, I don't think women acknowledge well. It's like just being appreciated and acknowledged for the level of stress I am taking off away from your life.
Right.
Like there is a level of stress I have eliminated from my fiance's life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And all you need.
She doesn't know.
Yeah.
She's never seen the light bill. She's never seen the gas. She
Yeah.
doesn't know
Yeah.
what things cost, in the house.
Right.
That is like a level of adulthood that I'm just like, you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
I will worry about that for both of us. The acknowledgement of like, hey, thanks for that.
Right.
It seems it matters so much. And I think
And that's the king baby thing.
yeah,
Yes.
and I think, but I don't know that it's king baby. It's like, I need something to keep going.
I guess what it is though, when you're taking care of all of that and you want to look like a warrior with a sword on your shoulder, it can be a little confusing that you're also like, but I also just need you to go like, hey, Sam, thanks for...
Yeah, but I'm a fucking person.
No, I want to be very clear. Val nails it. When I go on the road, she goes, thanks for working hard for the family.
Yeah.
I never told her to say that.
But that's all
Never.
you need.
That's all I need.
That's what I'm saying.
She even says she'll use the
all
language.
you
This is
need.
this is a good person right here. She'll use the language of my pain. Like when I go on the road, it's not a vacation. Back to me. She'll go, I know it's not a vacation. I know you're working hard. I'm
Yeah.
like, so I'm being seen like not. So Val's I call her a love genius. She
Yeah.
figures out how to love somebody and she loves them perfectly.
That's good.
But like when I see relationships that are decaying, I'm just like, and I'll give it back to Val. When I come back, I'm like, when I'm alone with my daughter for 4 days, by
Yep.
the end of it,
You gotta
I'm
be like-
losing my mind.
Yeah.
I'm literally like for real,
Yep.
not making
And that's
good choices. I'm like,
and that's the key, right?
haven't bathed. Yeah,
That's
go
the
ahead.
key. That's the key.
That's the key. You have to reflect it back to the person.
Absolutely. Like, and my fiance, like, we're at that place now. It took some work, but she definitely now would be like, thank you for like,
Yeah.
working so hard for us. Thank you for the life you provide for us. And I know, like,
Right.
thank you. And just in a
Right.
like, yo, I
Right.
see you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But I also had to learn to be like, thank you for making a home for me because
Right.
this helps me and balances me and like
Right.
this. It also allows me to go out here and do what I'm doing because I know I have this stable
Yes.
thing
Yes.
here.
Dude.
And if you're not here building that, then I don't have that, and I appreciate that.
And that's not nothing.
And
Just
that's
because
not
culture
nothing.
doesn't pay for
Yeah,
it
it's
doesn't
not
mean
nothing.
it's not valuable. Emotional space, physical space, all of that stuff. Everyone's gonna laugh. I'm always bringing up the show Alone. Have you seen the show Alone?
No.
It doesn't matter. I hadn't either. Somebody just turned me onto it. They just drop people off in the woods and they are
wow.
alone as long as they can be. And they get to bring 10 items.
I would like that.
Dude, it is a feminist masterclass because there's men. It's the most male-female show I've ever seen in my life. You will like it. It's on Hulu.
Okay, I'm gonna
There's
check
like
this out.
9 seasons of it. You and your
Damn.
fiance are gonna love it. But the men are so men. First of all, they never admit when they fail. That's my number one. If they tap out, it's always because the contest is stupid. It's not because they couldn't do it. They're like, I just decided this was dumb. And it's like, because you failed, because you were scared of the bear. And the women, you're like worried about these women because they're like knitting like a tapestry for the wall. And you're like, lady, go out and forage or hunt. And they're the ones that make it so much longer than anybody. And they're fine. They're like whistling
Yeah.
and sitting in a chair they made.
It's kind of like Naked and Afraid. You watch Naked and Afraid?
It's exactly like Naked and Afraid, except they have clothes.
That's how the women are Naked and Afraid. If you notice, like,
Right.
the guys will always be like, I'm a fire master. I know fire. I'm fucking gonna
Yeah,
kill this
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And then, like, the woman will be doing something like, she's taking the, like, reeds and she's making, like, shoes. And he'll
Yeah.
be like, what the fuck? I
Yeah.
don't need shoes.
Yeah.
And then the idiot cuts his
Of
foot
course.
wide open.
Yes.
He's just, like, bleeding out his foot.
You needed
And
shoes.
she's like, you should have just took the shoe.
And when a man gets stressed, a typical man gets stressed, all of that, let's say all that feminine goodness is on the outside. He gets stressed, he forgets all of it. It goes away and it's just, what do you do all day?
Yeah.
When do you bring in money?
Yeah.
What are you good for?
Yeah.
And you don't realize, like, there was a dude on Alone that was like, he was like, I don't move because I don't have calories. So I've labeled out every movement. I walk over here and I get water and I walk back. That's 10 calories. The most masculine thing I've ever seen. That dude tapped the fuck out. Cut to a lady like chasing a squirrel. She's like, this is my God. I've named him. Like, she's going to thrive. Meaning making, purpose making, community building, even a relationship with a place. That's, when I say feminine, men are obviously capable of it, but that is so undervalued.
Yes.
And your life, I know you already know this, my life, I'll keep it to me, would suck. I say this to Val all the time. We live outside of the city. I'm like walking around in beautiful nature. I'm like, I never would have made it here. I would have been a dumbass, fucking successful comedian living in like a cop's apartment.
No, seriously. It's like I come home and it smells good and there's like pillows on the couch and it's like welcoming me and it's like clean and there's like love in there. And
that's it.
Like,
it's not the cleanliness, it's the love.
And I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I'm out doing this thing. I don't know if I didn't have that and I was at the level I'm at right now, I would be like, it would be sad.
Yeah, of course.
It would be sad.
And you see it.
Yeah,
I don't mean to
dark.
judge people, but I know some people that
see
don't
it's
share
dark.
their life.
It's
and you're
dark,
kinda like,
and you see it. And I was just talking to my friend about this, like, because he was kind of going through with his girl, and I'm like, but yo, like, you love her, like, just dive in and fix that, because like, I'm like, yo, I be seeing my homies out here, 40 something, bro. Nobody, bro. They lost. You see it in their eyes. They just out here drifting.
Right. They already have enough money for every new Xbox and the new TV and all the. By the way, there are some people that can do it, I'm sure, but I see a lot more golems and vampires. You know, it reminds me, Bill Burr. I was mad at my manager. I love you, Dave Reth. I really do. But I was mad at him for something. This is a long time ago. Isn't it nice? I can't even remember why I was mad. And I asked Bill Burr about it because I was like, you ever think about like not having a manager? And he was like, dude, no. What are you going to get to the top and have no one to share with?
Yeah.
He saw that it's really not a head relationship. It's a heart relationship. Even a work relationship like that, you're like, no, it's actually about sticking through.
Oh my God. Like, I've had the same manager since I started. You know?
And that doesn't make sense always, right?
No, but it worked.
Right, it worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
And, you know.
It's shoes on Naked and Afraid.
It worked. And we like, the special, you know, just came out. So she was in New York. And we just were sitting at the bar and we were like, God damn, man, look how far we've come.
Right.
Look where we started this relationship. Look what I was doing. Look what you were doing.
Because they're not just a person, they're your memory.
Yeah, we got a shot. We like cheers. We got a little teary-eyed. And we were like, man, we're fucking here. You know, like, yeah, man, you need that shit.
Yeah.
You need that shit. At least I need that shit.
Because in that story, it's not just another person. We're not just talking about codependence. Like, it would be sad at a bar alone. No, your manager in that story is actually the record of your life. You can't even hold it all together.
No.
Val will go, this is Val. She'll go, P, you get sad every year around Christmas. And I'm like, I do?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know myself.
Yeah.
It takes two people to know a person.
Yeah, for sure.
For me.
No, absolutely. I think for anybody with an ounce of depth and allowing themselves to live, you know, you need
I need
that.
some cloud storage.
Oh yeah, man. And my fiance is
I
the
can't
same.
just go on the hard drive.
The same thing. Like, I'll be like, I always forget the day my mom passed, but I'll be in a funk. September 29th, I'm in a funk. I'll always, on that day, I'll never go, oh, that's what happened today. But I'll just be like, I'm in a fucking mood.
Right.
And my girl she'll be like, it's the 29th. And I'm like, oh.
And
I was like, I don't know what's going on today. I'm just like fucking moody.
That's what I mean. We don't even know what we need. We need help. We need help. Isn't it wild
We need help.
if you had a baby, your baby, the way that like trauma carries over genetically, your baby might be in a funk on
the
that
29th.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Absolutely.
I was just reading a book. I forget what it's called, but I was reading a book about how like they're finding out more about scientifically. It's not like crystals and shit. They're like, no, people are seeing like trauma.
You better not say the crystals ain't science
crystals
to my girl.
Are science. Crystals are science. Guess how much I paid for this crystal?
She'll smack you up. I always think
you're about to sign a huge deal.
I said that to her though, and she got pissed off. I was like, because she's like into crystals, she's an empath, whatever. And I will say she is an empath. I did not believe in that.
Yeah.
But I've grown to understand.
You mean she has like intuition? Meaning
she feels what other people feel deeply.
Wow.
In a way that I had to say this is something going on because I do not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't. Like, I absolutely don't. And she, like, and I'll tell you the moment that I was like, no, because she's always said it, and I've kind of been like, okay. You know what I mean? You're an empath. Shut up. And, you know, she'll, like, we'll be watching. She cries every movie. Even if it's like a kid's movie, she's, you know, she's like wet face. Like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's so dumb. But I didn't put that into like your, I'm like, just idiotic. But we were at the airport and there was a kid, he was going off to war. You know, like, you know, when they be like at the little, and his mom was there. Because, you know, when they're going, they let their parents come all the way up to the gate or whatever. So his mom's at the gate, and he's hugging his mom, and she's squeezing him so tight, and she's crying, and he's crying, and she's wiping his face. And he gets on a plane, and we're all just waiting to get in line. Everybody's just like, yeah, that's their situation. I turn, and my girl is bawling, like bawling. And we get to the seats, and she's just like, I feel so bad for this mother, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm looking at the rest of the plane could care less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I'm Premier 1K.
Yeah,
and
everybody's just doing their business to be
yeah.
on the plane.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I was like, okay, yeah.
It's a different thing.
It's a different thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad
You know what I
you
mean?
figured that out, though. You balanced your, I don't want to minimize you. I'm a head, too. I'm a top down. Val's bottom up. It sounds like you found a bottom up.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
If you had two heads.
No. And it's taught me to like, now like I'm really sensitive to that for her. Like, like if I'm watching something that's violent or something, I'll be like, hey babe, are you okay? Or, you know, like, because I'm like, where it really does fuck with her.
Yeah. And if you're like me, you've been together like 17 years.
Yeah, off and on
a long
since
time.
college,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's probably already happened, or you tell me if it's already happened. I'm now more in touch with how tender I can be. Like Val calls it my protector. I get mad and I get strong, and she's like, is there? Like, anger is sadness in disguise, that sort of thing. Yeah. And living with somebody who, like, I want to say girl, I want to talk cool. I want to talk cool, Sam. But your partner, it starts to rub off on you.
Yeah.
And you start to see, like, oh, they're safe. And you start to realize, like, it's safe for your vulnerability to start coming out.
Absolutely.
That's what I like about people like this.
Yeah. For real. And she's very, she takes care of feelings very well.
Yeah.
Like once you like allow her to see them, you know?
That's great.
Yeah.
A safe place for you. And then you can have your feelings.
Yeah.
It's great. And what?
We love our ladies.
We love our ladies.
That's so dope.
Why marriage after 17 years?
Why marriage?
I mean, I'm into it.
Well, it's like off and on, first of all. So it was like we were consistently dating for 17 years. You know, it was off and on. We'd be dating, then we'd break up, and we'd still be friends, but we're fucking other people. Then we might see each other somewhere and fuck, and then be like, maybe let's be together again, and then go our separate ways, you know? For a lot of the time, we were living in 2 different states and, you know, stuff like that. So it's only been like we are living together consistently like for the last 6 years.
It's like old new.
Yeah. So it's like old new in that way. And for me, I've thought about this because I've also been married before and divorced.
Me too.
I thought about this, and to me, it's not like, oh, marriage is gonna make me love her more or change anything. I do think marriage for me is about standing up with your community of, you know, your family, your community.
Yeah.
And saying like, this is the person I want to do this with and hold me accountable.
That's it. Yeah. You're folding them in.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I'm not grading your answer, but I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Because it's not about, our wedding wasn't even about me and Val. Val and I already knew we loved each other. But we were like, and if you want one piece of, you didn't ask for it, but like the wedding is like, what does your love look like? And you let people visit it. And it's fucking emotional. Your lady's going to be crying so hard. But it's like, and then you say, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at how beautiful it is. And it's even in some vows, it's like, and when things get, if they get weird or strange, or I come to you, help me remember
That's what I'm
this.
saying, yeah.
Help me remember
hold
this.
me accountable and
Yeah.
hold me accountable to the words that I'm saying to this person.
Right. That's what it
hold us
is.
accountable to this thing that we're dedicating to be in
Right.
with each other.
That's why not Vegas. You
Yeah.
can't call up the Elvis
No,
impersonator and be like, what
no.
did I say?
Yeah.
Nothing against that. I'm just like, that wasn't for me.
No, that's what I'm
I guess I
saying.
am saying something against that. I'm so scared of offending somebody. Sorry, Vegas people. I'm just saying, like, and you'll watch the married people. This is how I know I feel like I'm right. Married people, every married couple that comes to a wedding, their vows are sort of like renewed and like relit by that experience because you're remembering the whole thing.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I think there were like 4 married couples and I think they're all divorced. But
Damn.
I know. It's what it is. You got to go?
No.
Okay. I mean, we did it. We're doing a good chat here.
Yeah. I have nothing. I hate it here.
LA?
Yeah. I have nothing to do. So no. Trust me. I'm being very entertained.
I'm with you. I kind of love that you don't love LA. It would be weird if you're like, I
this
thrive
place.
here.
I hate this place.
What's the headlining hate about it?
It fucking sucks. Like,
The headliner is that it sucks.
it sucks so bad.
Yeah.
It's just one. Okay, I have some. I wish you had like a beer or a drink. You know, I fuel my.
We might have a.
I'm fueled by
Is there
alcohol.
a beer in there?
If there's a beer in there, I would love it. I'm also like hungover
Oh no, you don't seem hungover at all.
because I do this, baby. I told you. I told you I went through some trouble.
Yeah, that's right. Your troubles. I thought there was.
Oh shit!
Is that a beer?
Or kombucha.
That's a beer, and it looks like a Michelob, which I've always thought to be a black brand. So here we are.
Really?
Yeah, I've always thought black. Did
It's
Billy?
like foreign, like German. Hell
There you go.
yeah.
There you go.
Oh my God! It's a blonde too.
Is it a twist or a bang?
Fucking sexy. Guess what? I can get it. Ooh, you're a man.
There we go.
Bang. So now.
I didn't mean to. I know you love man moments. I didn't mean to take that from you.
No, I'm a complicated woman.
Yeah, I was. But you know what? I like being taken care of
I
too.
also like being taken care of. I like when a man mans.
This podcast just took a really interesting turn. I love it.
So this is the thing. LA fucking sucks because one, there's nothing to do. Like, let's be like really honest.
Yep.
There's nothing to fucking do.
Other than show business, which isn't
other
really
than
a thing.
show business and then like hike. And it's like, that's not fun. There's not like, it also sucks because like there's no like cool hangs, right? Everything is by appointment.
Yep.
Like if I want to go to dinner with you, I have to call you on a Monday. You'll tell me you're available next week.
Yep.
Around 7 on a Tuesday.
And then I'm
it's
going to cancel on you too. Like that's what we do. Nobody's coming to this dinner.
And it's like, who fucking wants to like live like that? Like,
Yeah. Are you in New York?
I'm in New York.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't imagine living anywhere else. Also, it's just like there's no fucking culture here. Like, let's be for real. There's no real like museums. There's no art. Anytime I see a Broadway play that comes here, I'm like, I'm not seeing a fucking
The road
Broadway
version?
in New fucking Los Angeles. Are you stupid?
It's Ben Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, I'm like not doing that.
We want the
That's
real
fucking
guy.
Dumb.
Yep.
I feel like it is a good place if you have like kids. I feel like it's a place people come when they're done living. It's like I have
that's facts.
I have my kid. I just want a nice school. I want some,
A better house.
Yeah, a better house.
Yeah,
But
trees.
but it's like kind of over for me. I'm not gonna go outside anymore. And I don't.
It's over for me.
It's kind of over for me. And I'm like, I'm still out here. I'm in these streets. You
No,
know,
you're right.
I'm up in New York till 4 a.m. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm eating dinner at 10.
Yeah.
I'm bar hopping.
Yeah.
I'm going to art exhibits.
Yes.
I'm hanging out with musicians.
Yes.
I'm going to plays.
There's always an Uber or a cab.
Yeah, I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, anytime I'm here, I'm like, I've done nothing. Nothing.
You can, yep, I'm not even defending it. You can go to the beach and walk around.
I hate the beach.
You hate the beach. You can eat good food.
I live in New York. The food here is ass. It's okay. Every time I've been bought someplace in LA and they're like, it's so good.
Yeah.
I'm like, meh.
I'm not saying this because you're black. Because you're black. Have you been to Roscoe's?
Yes, it's fine.
I like that.
It's fine.
It's not. That's one of my.
It's
That's like.
good, but it's not like,
It's not phenomenal.
it's not blowing my top, you know? It's good food, you know, but
Yeah, I'm not the guy. Sushi. You like sushi?
now you're just yelling out food.
Greek food.
You know?
I feel like
Yeah, I like sushi.
You should go to Sugarfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah,
Yeah, even as I say it, I'm like, who cares? You said it. You know what I said? New York is where you're gambling, and LA is where the sad little quiet place you take your chips. And you cash them in. But that's just a nicer way of saying what you said, which is, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm still playing.
Yeah, you're still playing.
And so I hate it here. I'm like, there's nothing to do. All my friends suck. All my friends who live here, they suck now. They suck. I'm like, hey guys, you oh man, I gotta fucking like go pick my kid up from Pilates. Oh, my kid's doing baby yoga, and then after that, I gotta fucking pick up some bread. You know, it's just like
I can't
the
even
dumbest
argue.
shit that they gotta do. Like, I gotta get pumpkin bread because there's people coming over tomorrow. Like, fucking, what is this?
Pumpkin bread.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Do you feel the isolation of this place too?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
depressing.
so isolated
Yeah, it's
here.
depressing.
I'm depressed here.
Yeah, no,
it's
it's
truly
depressing.
like, it's sad.
People just get over it. There's no fix for it.
It's so sad.
They just get over it.
And it's like New York, you can walk out your door at 1 in the afternoon and not come home till 4 a.m. because the city itself has just swept you up.
Right.
You know, with no real plan. You could be like, I'm going to this thing. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to stop in here. Oh, then you bump into somebody on the street and they're like, let's go grab a drink over here.
Right.
People are like, in LA, you bump into somebody on the street. They're always so busy doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you can't get a person to slow down, but they're not doing shit. You can't bump into someone on the street and be like, yo, let's just grab a drink real quick. You're like, I gotta fucking go do nothing. You're like, what are you going to do?
Well, they're driving, so they can't get a drink with you, right?
Which is also like, it's pussy shit. It's like, you motherfuckers don't drink and drive. It's just not a real place. I can't deal. It's like everything's so like pussy here. It's like, you'll be out with somebody and you'll be like, let's do a shot. And they'll be like, oh no, I drove today. It's like, if you can't function your car off of one shot, what the fuck? What the fuck?
I mean, I can't disagree with you.
It's all
and the
so dumb. And everybody's like recovering and nobody
that's
wants
true.
to.
That's
it
true.
sucks, you
Well,
know?
Sam, we're saving you a seat when you're lame and want some pumpkin bread.
Not coming.
Do you want to have kids? Maybe.
No.
No.
No, my fiance thinks she does, but she doesn't.
But it's just kind of like a fantasy you
That's
allow.
that's how I feel. I know it sounds fucked up. T, you set me up. You sound fucked up. And the problem with Pete, what I realized the issue with Pete is he looks mad innocent, like he doesn't have all these fucked up dark thoughts, and then he like presents them in this like light
You let her
ass
have
way.
that fantasy.
And then you're like agreeing, but you look like the monster, you know?
And then we cut me out of the video. It's just you.
It's like such a fucked up setup. But no, I don't. This is the thing. She says she does. And
You don't
until
believe her.
I don't believe her because she's not doing anything to do it. We're not a straight couple. I can't just nut in her.
Yeah.
If we really want to do this, you got to do some stuff.
Yeah.
She hasn't done the stuff. So I'm like, if she starts doing this stuff, if she comes to me one day like, yo, I got my ex checked, it's this, it's that.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, she wants to do this, and I'll step up, like, you know, and I'll do it because, like, I'm not gonna deny her that. When it's either way for me.
Right.
I'm not strongly no. I'm not strongly yes.
I think you'd be a great parent. I mean, that feels...
Well, that's what freaks me out too, is that I know if we have a kid, I will be here. I will be cashing in because
That's
I know,
why I'm like, when I see you in line at the pumpkin bread.
I know me, like I would take it so fucking serious.
Yeah.
Because I had such a great mom and because I lost my mom young.
Yeah.
And I know the importance of being parented well.
Right.
Because of what I went through, I would take it so serious. And I feel like I also would become very maternal. I feel like all like the femininity in me would come like spewing out of me.
Right.
And I would just be like this mushy, mommy mess.
That's interesting.
And I don't want that.
You know that Patrice bit?
I don't want it.
Do you know the Patrice bit where he's like, your men are like fishermen and they catch like a swordfish and everybody's like, wow, you caught a swordfish, and then the swordfish wants you to like stop fishing and stop. He's not just talking about not seeing other people, but he wants the swordfish being the woman.
Yeah.
It's not exactly, I can't stand by everything, I suppose, but like, see, I'm so scared. But he says like, the fish wants the fisherman to stop doing the thing that made the fish attracted to it. Do you remember that?
I never even heard that bit,
Yeah.
which is because you know I avoided.
He might have done it on a podcast.
I avoided a lot of Patrice when people started being like, "You're sound like you're the next Patrice. You sound like Patrice," and I was like, "I don't like this. I don't know."
Yeah.
I've only seen a little bit of his stuff at that point.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to receive any more of this.
Yeah, I get that.
So I just did it. But what's fucked up is I was doing a bit when I was talking about the cheating that was so similar to that, where it was like,
Oh, really? Up to that point?
Yeah, where it was like,
He might have just said it on Marin.
it was like, I was talking about like the nature of conquering.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's what attracts you to a person.
Yes.
And then it's like, now I'm supposed to just turn that person off
Right.
for you.
Right. Stop
You know
being
what I mean?
stop being a pirate, basically.
Yeah, for you. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to just like shut it all down when it's like, that's what gets me going. That's what gets me out of
And
like,
that's what got
bed.
them going.
And that's what got you going. You know what I mean?
That's why. So when you were shitting on LA, and I agreed with everything you said, people get real addicted to show business out here. Let me say it this way.
Wait,
Yeah.
I remembered it.
Oh.
It was tied into, I was saying like, I'm not gonna cheat anymore or whatever. But also, why do I have to play into my girl's like delusions? Like she wants to believe. I said it probably part of why I hate that this whole cheating thing's an issue, because it's not only just about I hurt her feelings. It's also like she wants me to pretend that she has the best pussy in the world. Like I have to pretend that this is the best pussy I've ever gotten in my life. And I'm like, that's not how pussy works. The best pussy I ever got is some pussy I ain't got yet. That's the nature of like,
Yeah, novelty.
Yes.
And excitement.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's like, I was like, the best pussy I ever got, I didn't meet it on the D train, okay? Like, that's not possible. The best pussy I ever got is probably on the highest cliff. I don't know. But it's somewhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's in the bottom of the ocean. I don't know, but it ain't just you just
your bed.
cause. Yeah, and that's okay. That's love, right? You're definitely not the best pussy I ever got. But that's love. I'm still with this pussy because I love you.
And isn't that romantic?
And that is romantic. That is romantic. And it's like, and the problem is on women. It's like, why are you putting so much value on your pussy?
Yes.
I'm valuing you beyond your pussy, doofy, because I've been over that.
I've been over that. I think you just wrote your wedding vows. You start. Sam has written her own vows. Well, let me get something straight.
Let me get some straight. I was like, it's like a cat. I was like, you ever see a cat kill a mouse? When he first kills the mouse, he's like, ah.
Yes.
And after a while, he's like,
yes.
it's dead.
But
That's how a pussy feels.
You want to hear my married sex? Val and I, we were watching Alone, of course, and there was a married couple. So on one of the seasons, there's two of them, and one of them is a married couple. So they're alone but together. And I go, do you think they're having sex? Because they're married and they're together. But they also have to like save their energy. I go, do you think they're having sex like as a strategy? And she goes, how long has it been? 48 days? And she's like, they haven't had sex. And I was like, that's married sex. It's only been 48 days.
And you just gotta find some like you.
Well, that's why you better be excited about them for other stuff.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
And then you gotta find like I was talking to my homies. I was like, you gotta once I stopped cheating, and I was like, okay, I have to dial in. This is where I'm at. Just the pussy I got.
Yeah.
I gotta just be about this.
Yeah.
Then it's like you gotta find ways to make it pop in. Like you gotta do shit. You gotta bring that pussy to Paris. You gotta see what it do somewhere else. You gotta put it in a new environment. You gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Bring that pussy to Paris. What's it do here?
Yeah, how it hit off in Paris.
But isn't that what
it
a
hits off
Vegas-
different?
What's it like in a different hemisphere, basically? The toilets go the other way. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That is so dry. But I remember I was in love with my friend in college, and she was like, I think she liked me too. It was like a Jim Pam sort of situation. And she was like, but do you marry your friend or your lover? And I was like, the fuck? Your friend. Like that shit is over. Everyone knows. That ends.
Yeah.
And they did get divorced. And I'm happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but so did I. But then like now Val is my lover for sure, and it's the best sex I've ever had, and it's the most attractive. That's real. I'm not just saying that. She's exactly my type. And that is not, it is in the top 5, but it might be number 5. You know what I mean?
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah,
It's part of it.
My girl is. I wouldn't be married to her if it wasn't fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It was memorable. It was fire.
Yeah.
It stayed.
And every once in a while, I'm sure it is again.
It pops out.
Yeah.
That pops back.
Val and I always go, it's nice to know that's still in there.
Yeah.
And you know what she says to me that I think is really sexy too is she's like, it's nice that we started as a sexual relationship. Like that was the initial like
me and my fiance too.
right? And we were like fucking
It was about
nuts.
fucking at first it was just all about fucking.
And then you're slowly going like, is this my favorite person? You know what I mean? And now but like it creeps in every once in a while and we're really proud of that.
Yeah, you gotta be.
This is nice.
You gotta be. And that's the thing, it's like again, like I love my girls. It's fucking awesome. But I'm just saying like the nature of your brain is like the most awesomest. I ain't touched it yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Novelty. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
That's just how, but absolutely. And then it is nice, like, whenever that happens and we reconnect in that way, it's so dope because it truly brings you back to when y'all first were like.
That's it.
It brings you right back to that.
Well, Val and I used to meet in San Francisco, and we go, that was some San Francisco sex.
Yeah.
That was like when we used to meet in the hotel.
Yeah,
Like,
see, that's what's up. Yeah. I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm working on this premise. We don't have to workshop, but I think it'll make you laugh. I go, I love Val so much. Like, I want to say to the crowd, I go, if your partner woke up the other gender, would you be gay for them?
Ooh.
And I'm like,
You
if Val
suck
woke
her
up a dude, I'd be like, I'm sticking with this fucking dude.
That's what's up.
But then where I really want to go with it is I'm like, because I could just use a break. I would love to get fucked for a change.
Oh my god! I just put out a bit where I'm talking about how get out my head.
No way.
I swear to God, I just put out this bit where I'm talking about how I don't want to strap my girl anymore because it's hard to fuck like a man.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much work was involved.
See, you're like our ambassador.
Yeah.
You're talking about our stress and the work and now this. Thank you.
No, yeah. And I'm like, when I used to get fucked by men, I would be like, why doesn't he fuck harder than that? He needs to work harder than that. And now I'm fucking like a man. I'm like, this is a lot to do.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a very narrow motion. No matter what you're doing, I don't care how Antonio Banderas you're getting. It's still and it's repetitive.
Yeah, bro. And it's all on you. It's all on you.
Well, that's the bit. So, dude, I go backstage and I go, I'm just losing my mind. Matt McCarthy and I are in the green room. This is in Raleigh. I had done 5 shows, and I just go out of nowhere just to make him laugh. I go, I wish I liked getting fucked. I do, and I go because I'm exhausted.
Yo, it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
But then I was like, that sounds homophobic to me. But I was like, what I really want is just like
to relax.
I go, you don't think a pitcher at a baseball game ever looks at the catcher like, must be nice?
Yeah.
Just squatting down there?
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out.
I swear
the balls keep coming.
I swear to God, like, swear, you can't tell my girl she's not doing work. And I'm like, baby girl, you're not doing shit. Well, a lot of times you making things harder with all these move-ins and stuff. And I'm just allowing it so you feel good. But like, I really wish you would just kind of like chill out.
Oh my God.
It's like
a bearskin rug.
Yeah, like baby.
Just be.
Just be.
Yeah. That was the bit. Because we were so tired after 5 shows. I was like, imagine all you had to do is just kind of lay there.
And that's what the thing is, like, this is what me and my girl got. And also, you got to remember, like, I don't feel it. So it's just a workout. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
No,
getting
I already
anything.
consider that.
So I'm really just working out. And it's like, it became like a fight because I like come from shows. And she's like, you don't fuck me. And it's like, girl, I'm tired.
Yeah. I'm
like,
going to say.
I got to do, you're going to lay down.
I think that's some Nobel Peace Prize stuff right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want me to
have
do
sex
work.
with somebody with a penis that you don't have nerve endings in is like the greatest act of philanthropy I've ever heard.
It's the greatest act of love.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then it's like you're not even appreciating that, bro.
Yes.
You're literally nutting 3-4 times. I'm just sweating.
Yes.
I'm tired.
Yes.
That's all I'm getting out of this.
That is.
And then sometimes you go right to sleep. And I just here with a fake dick, just looking stupid, my nigga, looking dumb.
There's some comparison.
Embarrass myself for your goofy ass. And then
I'm wearing a harness.
Yeah, and also getting like talked bad about. Like, what's happening? What is this?
You really have figured out. I didn't know that we needed a lesbian to speak out for men issues, but we did.
It's so funny because even after like doing this special and touring this special, like dudes would stand up sometimes, like, thank you.
Right.
You know, all that shit. And I'd get off stage and like women would come to me and be like, I never thought about that. I never considered that.
This is,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Kasim Bentley, when he came to San Francisco at Punchline, and then he DMs me afterwards, he's like, nigga, you're doing God's work. He was like, he was leaving the show, and there was a couple, and he said, the wife went to the husband, do you feel that way about the trash? And he was like, kinda, you know, you never take it out. And she was like, I'm gonna start to consider that, and I'm gonna try to help you with that.
wow. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all.
And I think it's because I'm a woman and I embrace my femininity as
Yeah.
much as I embrace my masculinity. So I think they see me up there as
That's
a
it.
woman and they're like, she's struggling.
Yeah.
And that ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
You're somehow like the perfect negotiator to be like, I get this side, I've been there, and now I'm here. Let me talk to both sides.
Because you don't realize how hard it is till you have to do it. And like simple stuff, as simple as the trash. It was like,
Yeah.
I was out there one night, I'm fucking struggling, okay? Like I wasn't raised to do the trash. So this isn't something I've been doing since, like, boys, you've been doing this shit since you're like 10. It's like, get it, that's your job. You know, so you have a lot of experience with the trash, how to wrangle it, how to deal with it when it goes awry. You know what I mean?
A tear.
I'm new, yeah, y'all on
Yeah.
it. I'm new. I'm new to the trash business. You know what I'm saying?
This-
I'm out there, it's in the big thing, it's heavy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's nighttime, you know, I'm vulnerable. It's like 2 a.m. I'm like, yo.
There's predators.
Yeah.
There's raccoons and
I'm
stuff.
like, what the fuck,
Yes,
dog?
yes.
Like, this is crazy.
See, this is you.
No help.
This is
You
you.
know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And I'm not surprised. I think that's actually 100% real. Like getting people to talk about stuff is the gift of comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised at all.
Yes.
Val, I'm happy to say, takes the trash out.
That's
sometimes.
dope.
Yeah.
No, my girl started.
Yeah, there you go.
She grabs it sometimes. She goes.
Yeah.
She'll put it in the thing. She's never gonna fuck with the bin. But I found a guy. I pay a guy. I ain't even gonna lie. I found a man. He was doing people's trash across the street. I said, hey man,
Really?
can you do mine too? He was like, yeah, $100
Oh, he pulls them out.
He gets it out, puts it on the curb, break down the boxes.
Wow. Are you in the city?
Yeah, I'm in Harlem.
In Harlem. And you have like a brownstone or
Yeah.
something? Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, I'm blessed, but it was rough for a while. It was rough, but I found a guy, so I'm free now.
Fantastic. We usually end by talking about, and I'm only, I could talk to you the rest of your day, but I have another thing, another boring ass LA thing.
I gotta do Fitz dog.
Oh, great. Tell him I said, what's up? The last thing, meaning of life, just tacking it on at the end. Any framework of God, religion, spirituality, anything like that for you?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I don't
I mean,
think
all those mushrooms.
it's not in the framework of like packaged religion.
Yeah.
I'm spiritual. You know, I pray. I pray over my food, not because I think something crazy is gonna happen to my food if I don't.
Right.
To take a moment to acknowledge.
It's for you.
Yeah, acknowledge myself. Acknowledge that there's bigger things at play, and just to reconnect to humanity as a self. To think about others as much as I'm thinking about me. Just to center myself.
Well, gratitude is real magic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like taking that moment is probably slowing you down a little bit. It probably is helping you digest, helping you. You don't want to eat scared.
Right.
Eat grateful.
Exactly.
That is a good prayer.
Exactly. So yeah, man, absolutely. I feel like I've felt God move through my life. I've been in some dark places, and I've had some dark thoughts, and I have been very lost. And I cannot just attribute it like I did that. No, there was things that my connection to spirituality and allowing that to enter me saved me.
Yeah,
for sure.
carried you through.
Yeah.
So what about your mom? Do you still feel a connection to her? I'm assuming yes.
Yeah.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
What if you were like, no? I'm like, I can tell that you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And when you think about an afterlife, or do you think this is it? Is it just this one little thing?
That thing I don't know. My fiance is very spiritual too, and we talk a lot about this kind of stuff. And she's kind of sold me on reincarnation.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning to that makes the most sense.
Yeah. I've heard it explained like, imagine if we're underwater and you're a little tornado. You ever see like a tornado underwater or like in the bathtub? That's like you. And you exist right now, but you're really just made of water. You're made of the same thing everything is. And that's true.
Yep.
Scientifically speaking,
Yeah.
you are just a localized phenomenon called Sam. And I'm a localized phenomenon. And then like when that tornado goes away, that's death. And then maybe that same water gets reanimated another thing. You see that sort of recycling happening. You see that sort of repurposing.
Yeah.
And the impersonalization of energy. It's
Yeah.
kinda, I get it. I'm with it.
Yeah, and it kind of the way it just like, it starts without a start, right? You're just here.
Yep.
It ends kind of,
Yep.
and it's like, I can't imagine then we just like all hang out somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, well, what keeps refueling it? And then you do have those moments where you're like, I've been here before. You know, like, this is not as unfamiliar as it probably should feel.
Yeah.
But it's also not familiar.
Yep. I get that. Like we're playing a game with ourselves.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I don't even feel it. You know, I even sometimes go like flat earthers and stuff, people that are out there getting weird about stuff. I'm like, I think they're picking up on an overall feeling of this isn't it.
Yeah.
You
And
know what I mean?
also they're picking up on an overall feeling of no one knows what the fuck they're talking
That's right.
about.
That's right. So it gets, I would say, misappropriated to
Yeah.
something like birds aren't real or whatever
But
it
it's
is.
also that we need to stop lying, right?
Mm.
There is this essence of lying that's underlying this whole experience.
agree.
And we need to cut it out. So a flat earther is kind of right because
That's what I'm saying.
came out? No, the earth isn't round. Actually, the shape is just like kind of oblongy, pancakey looking thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, baby, you've been lying to us.
Right.
These motherfuckers
Right.
aren't, their investigation may have led them to go, it's completely flat, and that may not be true, but what you saying wasn't true either.
Right.
There was some in between. It's like, why aren't globes just looking like this oblongy thing that we are? Why isn't that how we're drawing it? Why isn't that how we're expressing it in the world? So they're not wrong for their curiosity. It's just, I feel like the same thing that happened with Trump and COVID. It's like, you can't yell at these people and keep telling them they're fucking dumb and they're conspiracy theorists, and then we come around later and go, oh yeah, COVID was in a lab.
Yeah. Is that what happened?
Yes, absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
I
Like
don't-
the government was like, this was a leak from a lab in China, we think.
Oh, wow. Wow.
We think that is the origin of how this happened.
Well, what I'm saying is that itchy feeling of, is this a dream? Like, Sam, have we done this just as a fun thing? Did we do this podcast before?
Exactly, yeah. That,
You know what I mean? Like, what?
Deja vu thing. And like,
And also, last night I had a very rich evening of dreams. And when I wake up, it's all gone.
but that's what I mean about like the stop lying. It's just overall. Because we could say like, hey, we don't know.
Yeah. Right.
We're unsure.
Right.
That's what they could have said about COVID. We're not quite sure.
Right.
They didn't have to give an absolute, that it's absolutely not this.
Right.
Or,
Because like your parents.
We don't know.
It's like parents going like, well, because, like, I don't lie to Leela, but I catch myself being like, yeah, why can't you be that close to the TV?
Yeah.
And in the 80s, you just go, because you'll go blind.
Yeah.
And I go, baby, it's just not what we do.
Like lies. Like think
not-
about
it's
how
not
we
what we
grew
do.
up. We grew up thinking that cats and dogs hate each other. Hates each other. That like literally, I remember being a kid being afraid. Like, oh, I gotta get this cat away from this dog before it's devoured.
Right.
And I see video after video of kittens laying on dogs,
Yeah.
licking dogs' faces,
Yeah.
dogs licking the kitten back, they chilling, watching TV. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why did we spin this tale?
Right. What you've maintained and what I think informs your spirituality is we don't know what's going on.
We don't know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
And that's the realest answer anyone could give you.
Right. I
Is
agree.
I have a few theories, but I ain't sure.
Right. That's it's in my special, but Barry Taylor said, God is the name of the blanket we put over the mystery to give it a shape. It's just so we can talk about it. It doesn't mean it's an answer.
Yeah.
It's a word for the mystery.
Yeah.
And what I like about that definition is we're like, it's not an answer. It's not like, well, you're going to die and there's going to be pearly gates. You don't know. Nobody
don't
knows. You don't know.
know.
You don't know. Yeah.
No, and nobody has the answers.
But when you go into nothing, I'm like, but we don't know.
We don't know.
We didn't ask for this.
We didn't ask for any of it.
Right. So
Yeah.
there's some humility there. All right.
Yeah, P, you're my boyfriend.
You're my other girlfriend.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
Val and now I got Sam. No, I love talking with you.
Yeah.
And not to sound like your dad, but I'm like, I've watched you just evolve and it's fucking dope.
Thank
it's really
you.
dope. And to see you in your special and to see you now and go like, that's who you were the whole time.
Yeah.
But now it's like you're totally comfortable and you understand yourself and it's great to watch. So,
Oh, thank you.
yeah. Would you, what time is it?
12:40.
Oh, we got to go. We went an hour 40. Shit. A little longer. Wait, hour 40.
It's almost 2 hours because we started like 10 minutes early.
Okay, I think we do have time for this last question then. Can you, and it doesn't have to be a long answer, but can you think of a time in your life you laughed so hard you were crying and you fell over, like a really, 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 really hard laugh? Here are you got it?
Go ahead. You have.
I was going to say sometimes someone fell, sometimes people farted,
I got it.
sometimes you're in church.
I got it. So, you know Boston.
Yes.
When we were kids, my cousin used to live in the South End. They had just opened this housing. It was like the first housing project.
Okay.
In the South End, kind of. Well, really, no, the second. Don't let me get cussed out by people who live in Methuen Manor. But it was called Tent City or whatever. And they had moved like low-income people in, but it was like right in Copley. So literally, you walked out of the one side of this structure and you were like kind of standing right in front of Copley Mall. It was like that close.
Mm-hmm.
So we would, wreak havoc over in that area. We were fucking kids. It was all the snooty white
lived there?
people. Yeah, my cousin. Well, I would go visit all the time, and it was like all the snooty white people lived over there, and so we would just run around. We would wreak havoc. We would do any and everything. Run by, knock people's hats off their head, go to the mall and throw berries down and hit people in the head and like dip off. Just goofy ass shit. So one day we're on Newberry Street, and they have all those outside restaurants.
Yeah.
And we bump into my older cousin's girlfriend. We called her Woman, because that's what he would call her. I think her real name was Kia, but we would call her Woman. And we were like, Woman! And she was like, what's up? And we were like, okay, we wanted to play this prank, because we were like pranksters. We would always go to the joke shop, get dollar snatchers, stink bombs. We were those type of kids. And so we were like, oh, we're going to do this funny thing. And this is like pre-Jackass and shit, which there should have been a camera on us, because we were always like, let's fucking fake a death scene in the street. Like, we're those type of fucking idiots. And so we were like, yo, we're going to pretend to rob you. So we were like, you walk ahead of us, put your purse, on your right side. We're going to run by and we're going to grab it. And then you just like, oh my God, my purse, freak out. And like,
Did Woman go for it?
she's like, for sure. But Woman, if we're like, I'm like 11, my cousin's got to be like 14. Woman's only like 20. You
Right.
know what I
She
mean?
seemed like a grown up, but she
Yeah,
was just 20.
She's just 20.
Yeah.
So Woman's like, hell yeah, let's do it. And we're like, cool, this is gonna be fucking awesome. So it's me, my cousin, and my homeboy Craig, our homeboy Craig. She walks up, and there's all those outdoor restaurants. We're like, this is gonna create a scene. Everyone who's eating is gonna be disrupted. That's all we care about. We're about to disrupt whatever this is.
A show.
So she goes, my cousin Gerald's the one who's gonna grab a purse. So he goes, he grabs it, he's running. Me and Craig are like kind of behind. And she's doing the thing. Oh my God, my purse. She's freaking out. Some guy was parking his like Ferrari.
I can't handle this.
He's parking his Ferrari. Old guy too. He had to be like 60, but he's fucking cut. Like one of those old guys works out and shit. He's still getting butt. Like he has money and he's still getting butt.
Yeah.
So he's looking good. So
He's got an anchor tattoo.
Yeah. He's
I
like,
got him.
I'm together still.
He's okay.
He's parking his Ferrari like on the street side. So he hops out, he grabs my cousin, lifts him up in the air. My cousin's still moving his legs, right? But he's like up. So me and Craig we're starting to be like, oh shit. This guy throws my cousin up against a tree and just starts wailing on him.
No.
Wow.
No, he already has him.
He's fucking him up. He's like beating his ass.
Oh no.
So now we're all dying. Woman's dying laughing. I'm dying laughing. Craig's dying laughing. We're like, oh shit.
Wait, Craig's getting his ass
No,
whooped?
we're just all laughing.
Oh.
My cousin Gerald's getting his ass.
Oh, Gerald's getting his ass
whooped.
kicked.
To this
Okay.
day, I'm like, yo, you got your ass beat by a 60-year-old man. He hates when I say it. Got his ass whooped. So we're dying, y'all. We're dying. And then the guy like see, like he just recognizing what's happening because woman's even laughing, and he's like, really funny fucking joke, and then he throws the bag, like hits my cousin in the head. With
Not
it.
him. He's had enough.
And he just like storms into this restaurant.
And then enjoys a
And my
tuna
cousin's
tartare.
like all shook up. He's like,
Oh my God.
it still cracks me up. Yeah.
That's where I was afraid it was going, but I'm
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
delighted that that's
Yeah.
where it went.
Yeah.
The fooled Samaritan.
Yeah. And then we just gotta go home and like lie to my aunt. Like,
my-
yeah, he fell off the bike, you know?
Was he like visibly beat up?
He was, it wasn't like big bruises, but my man was, yeah,
Oh my God.
he got worked.
Oh my God. That is I'll never forget that answer. Thank you, Sam.
You all go.
This was great. Enjoy Fitzdog Radio.
Hell yeah.
Would you say keep it crispy? It's how we end.
Keep it crispy.
I love it. Some people are like, what does it mean? You're like, nope. That was great. Thank you so much.
You made it weird. You made it weird. You made it weird. Oh yeah. You made it weird. You made it weird. You made it weird. Oh yeah. You made it weird. You made it weird. You made it weird. Oh yeah. You made it weird. You made it weird.